Welcome to Off the Rails podcast.
That's right, everybody. Welcome to the Off the Rails podcast. That's my little man there, Brooks.
Hi.
Hi, there you go. He just wanted to say hey to everybody. He's hanging out and spending the night. And this here is my best buddy,
Mitch.
And together we make up the Stile Boyz. What's
Got
up,
that right,
everybody?
buddy.
Yup. You got anything you want to say to everybody before you go? TT is the best.
TT is the best, and also KK. And I just want you guys to know that to have good time of podcast with these two.
There you go. Thank you, buddy.
All right.
Awesome.
Heck yeah.
High five. See you, man. Have fun.
I don't know, man. That's going to be a hard one to follow up with right there, buddy.
I feel like I'm being replaced, man. It's a good thing we're not getting paid for this gig or we'd get fired.
Yeah. Can I just get something off my chest real quick?
Dude, I feel like you got a lot of things you need to get off your chest. So you've got the floor.
Finally!
Oh, jeez, you ain't lying. Oh, so if you're hearing this, it's been almost 2 weeks. We had to skip a week.
Yeah.
Because holy Moses, Jesus hates Alabama, apparently. and almost recreated the little Noah situation we had there.
Yeah. Somebody's mama was praying for rain, buddy, and I'm glad they stopped her.
Well, she's a prayer warrior because she got what she asked for.
Oh, boy, what a couple of weeks, man.
Dude, I don't even know. It's so funny because I was listening to the episode that released, which was the Memorial Day episode, right?
Yep.
And I couldn't help but to die laughing because basically you gave your little recap and I was like, so you're just loving life, right? And he's like, you're like, yeah, it couldn't be better. And I was like, boy, I bet he wishes he could take that statement back because he has been hammered the last week and a half.
Oh, man. Boy.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's good to see you, though. It is good to see you. I
tell you what, I didn't know how much I would miss, sitting around and talking about, well, man, I'm a lucky guy, man. It's been a rough couple of weeks and it's nothing serious. It's just basically, guys, what we're talking about is the podcast got held up. Hopefully, you guys never realize that. Why we have a delay is because sometimes some things happen, and we were late, a day or two late, I think, on one of them, and I got a couple of text messages from some concerned fans.
Yeah, I think we missed a day.
And I think that was because Tommy left.
Yeah, he got a vacation, but I didn't know we offered a vacation plan, but apparently we do.
Travis didn't know he wasn't going to be there. Oh, that was funny. I was like, what about the podcast? And he goes, what do you mean? And I said, well, who's doing it? And he goes, Travis is going to have to do it this week. I said, dude, it's Sunday. What do you mean?
Yeah. I was prepared to do, he gave me, and he got the dates mixed up. He had told us he needed help with one podcast. I was like, all right, good, no problem. We can take care of that. And then all of a sudden he's like, I'm sorry, I got my dates wrong. It's today I'm leaving. And I was like, oh, okay. So apparently you're getting vacation time. Cool.
And what makes that so funny is Trey and him have an ongoing joke because that's all Tommy talks about is camp, especially for the couple of months leading up to it. So everybody knew what day he was leaving. And I was like, you of all people, how in the world did you forget what day you were leaving? But
so that was my question was where the heck did he go?
Yeah, he went to Pensacola Christian College.
Okay.
Down to a church camp, the likes of which you have never seen, buddy.
Well, I guess I'll forgive it if he's going to hang out with Jesus. How can you be mad at that?
Yeah, you're right about that. And
I'll allow it.
It was, of course, now I forget the guy's name. Oh, shoot. I can't remember the guy's name that does that. But anyway, it'll come to me. But so they go down there for a week, and they have like three services a day, but then everything, and they're relatively short, they're about an hour. But then there's rock climbing and wave riding and eating and swimming and, bowling, paintball, you name it, man. It's a huge campus.
Dude, I can remember as a kid, I went to a church camp. It was somewhere down in, I don't know where it was now. I was that little. But man, we had the same thing: skiing, rock climbing, horseback. Where I got kicked in the face by a horse, or in the chest actually by a horse, which I think led to my deep fear of horses. But like I remember like looking forward to it. It was a big deal. I mean, we had like the boys' cabin, you had the girls' cabin. In the middle of the night, you had the boy-girl war. Like,
Oh yeah.
then like going to services, and it was it was where I saw somebody barefoot ski for the first time, and I was like, what? Like, you don't have to have any skis? Like, I just thought that was the coolest thing ever. That's where I learned to water ski. I learned to water ski there. I mean, it was a good time. So I mean, I'm glad he's getting to experience those things. I think they're good. I think they are good foundational things that build character, and they build up. Yeah, it's been a long day. Build defining things that are that you'll build off of as you go through life. I'm using the word build a lot.
Yeah, and he's 14. Yeah. Riley goes. She's 16. Joseph, I think, will go in 2 or 3 more years. He'll be able to go. And if you think about this, man, 12 to 16 to 18 years old, buddy, you're soaking stuff in like a sponge, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for them to kind of get away for a week, and I feel like a lot of the things that help during the camp is everybody's their age.
Yep,
they're not outcast. They're like, oh, other kids are doing this, And there's bad apples in the bunch. It don't matter where you go. But, to get them down there, the church does all the work. I mean, they pay for it, and, they take them down there and take them back and watch them, take care of them. And so anyway.
Thank you so much for doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, my. Thanks.
Just saw it.
I have been sitting here debating about, do I say something? Do I say something about fixing that or not?
We're getting better because you had that look in your eye.
I know. I kept darting over and looking at it. Before we get too deep, I need to give a little shout out real quick. Went to a little like flea market thing here, and a local thing. So we have this really cool ag center that they do like at rodeo in. They do like tons of events throughout the year, but like big rodeo comes here. But a couple weekend and a half ago, dewberries came up, and we took them to the flea market there. It was the first time they'd done this flea market, huge indoor flea market, and met a veteran there. And I am sorry, buddy, and I know you're not listening to this anyway, but I told you I'd give you a shout out. I cannot remember his name, but a young veteran, just got out of the Army, is about to have their first kid, started his own little clothing business, and was there representing, struggling, working on the weekend, trying to sell that stuff. But Old US Outdoors, Old US, got this pimping hat from him. This is the brand. This is a Richardson 112. I said, dude, you're killing it if you're selling a Richardson 112s. But man, I would love if just 5 listeners, just 5 of you guys would go and check him out, Old US Outdoors on Instagram or oldusoutdoors.com, and just go buy a hat from him or buy a shirt from him. He's just a veteran trying to make a living, and he's out there hustling. I mean, he's not sitting back asking for something that's not owed to him. He's out there hustling, working these events, and trying to start a name and trying to start a business for his family. But I just was super impressed by him. Young little wife, getting ready to pop. They were very sweet with each other, and you could tell that they had something going on. You could just tell it was a good relationship. But that's Old US Outdoors. They had some really cool stuff, but I like the hat. Couldn't help but to pick that up. But if just 5 of you guys will go buy something from him, man, you'd be surprised how far it go from him.
Yeah, and it doesn't cost anything to go on Facebook, find his page, and share it.
Yeah.
I mean, do what
and
you
you're
want to do.
You're going to get something. Give the guy $25, and you're going to get an awesome hat. Or I think his shirts were like $15-$20. Like, they weren't bad. You can't buy these. These are a limited edition. The world's loudest shirt. But I'm looking. I might sell these. I mean, if nothing else, you'll look cool, and you can do like mating calls or call your children in for dinner.
Mating calls,
and they'll know it's time to eat. Whatever, however it works.
Oh, that shirt.
I know. Well, I had a different shirt on, but I was going to wear this hat for, to represent. I told him I'd give him a shout out. And I was like, look, I got a podcast with like 15 people on it. So don't expect like your sales.
Yeah.
It's not like going on Shark Tank. I was like, but dude, I love your stuff. I'll definitely mention you. And so I put the hat on, and my oldest daughter goes, yeah, you don't match at all. And I was like, it's fine. Nobody's really going to care. And I was like, thanks. Now I got to go change. So
I don't even have pants on when I do these, so it doesn't even matter,
I would love to, but that would be really awkward considering this is her bedroom now while she's home for the summer.
Yeah.
So that'd be really weird. I mean, it's a little weird that you're sitting in your office with no pants on, but it's your office. I mean, it's not like you're borrowing your daughter's office.
Yeah, nobody else is in here. And I've got a super exciting thing to tell you about my office from Trey. That's in the notes.
Oh, I might be behind.
He got me my birthday present.
Look at him showing out. Well, dude, I would like to say, tell me about your week, but I know your week's been crap. And in a way,
yeah, it
but
does.
You're
have
not a
some
half
crappy
glass
parts.
empty. You're not a glass
No.
half empty kind of guy, though. So, I mean, I would just be like upside down. It's all dirt, and I just can't get dirt done, and I'm so tired of dirt rain. And
Yeah.
look, Tommy, I'm trying to help you out because you've let me down a couple of times, so I'm just going to dirt myself. But I mean, But I mean, so for those of you who don't know, Alabama has been through, I mean, and this storm went through a large section of the U.S. It was a huge storm.
Yeah.
I mean, but you guys just got hammered. How many days of productivity did you lose total?
4.
5? 4 days?
4 weekdays.
4 weekdays of just you told me one night I called to check on you, and you're like, I was in there with a flashlight. What did you do with the flashlight? What did you get done?
We
I mean, I know you got some battery tools, but I mean, what could you really do?
No, we loaded up and went somewhere. I know we went and measured 2 jobs with no power. And there's something we installed. I can't remember what it was now, but anyway, we installed a little job with no power here. We just loaded the trailer up and went on. Dude, it was weird walking in here with the lights on. That's how long the power was out. I mean, it was bad, man. But, everybody down here went through it. Everybody was. Now, we didn't have any damage. We just had no power. So,
hey, and that's good because there was a lot of people that had some damage.
A lot of people lost. I mean, we know people that lost houses. And, matter of fact, my neighbor right there had a big sycamore tree crash right on top of the house. And they're talking over $100,000 to fix it.
Well, because you guys got to the point where, I mean, I know the wind was strong, but it wasn't like crazy strong. But after, so much saturating rain, the ground is just so soft.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here,
where we
take
live,
that much to flip something over.
Right. And South Montgomery County is pretty sandy, and we have a lot of water oaks, and their root ball is just not very big. I mean, that's what you see is root balls. I mean, water oak and dead pines.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's literally thousands of them, just in Montgomery County, Lowndes County, Crenshaw County. I mean, it was crazy. And what happened was, I was out there Wednesday, and I was out there getting something out of the truck, and the wind came. No rain, no nothing, just that front line wind. I bet it was 60 miles an hour for probably 30 seconds. And then you could hear branches falling. You could hear stuff tumbling. Things were blowing down the road. All my trash cans blew over. And I was like, uh-oh. And, buddy, it came and it destroyed. And then they came and fixed some power lines, and another one came through and knocked more power lines down, and another one, and it was just like every day, man. No hold up. It was crazy.
I know this is one of those times where your brother is definitely glad to not be with the power company anymore.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I mean,
it was.
And God bless you guys. You're out there in it. I mean, they get paid well. I mean, but they earned it. They were out there earning it. That's for sure.
They get paid what they're worth out there, man, when they're dealing with that.
I got a little frustrated with some social media. I'm not gonna lie. few of the come on Alabama Power, come on Pioneer, come on whoever, oh, seriously, the power's out again. Yeah, those guys are out there just knocking the power lines back down so you're inconvenienced. Come on, people. I mean,
Right. And here's the big thing.
that was frustrating.
Those guys that are out there fixing it are not the guys who designed it. They're not the guys who laid it out. They're not the guys who engineered it.
Yeah,
right?
It's true.
And I'm not even saying it's the engineer's fault. I'm just saying the last person you need to be looking at is the guys that are on the pole fixing it.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, we were handing them waters. They were right down the road. We took a cooler down there. We were like, hey, do you guys need a sandwich? Do you get guys, do y'all have something to eat? Here's some drinks. Here's some waters. Here's. Because
I don't know if you know what happens during those situations, but those guys are generally camped out somewhere. Like that. I mean, sometimes there's hotel accommodations. Sometimes there's not. Sometimes there's a lot, where they've staged equipment and, extra transformers and wires and stuff like that they've, they knew about the storm coming in ahead of time and they were able to get some stuff pre-staged. But sometimes they're there sleeping in the trucks. I mean, sometimes that there's some hotel accommodations. It just depends on where they are and where this storm is. So, it sucks that you're inconvenienced. I get that, but you're at home being inconvenienced. These guys are out in it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and you fix it today, and a storm comes back through tomorrow and knocks it right back down again. I think that was a lot of what was happening, wasn't it?
Brand new poles, dude. I mean, brand new poles, brand new lines. Boom, on the ground again the very next day.
Yeah,
it was crazy. But anyway, we had all that. It's one of those things where you just have to deal with it. It is what it is. Just deal with it and move on. The only downside to it was like we couldn't really go out to eat. It's not like just the power at the shop was out. I mean, It was out everywhere. So, it's not like we were on vacation or anything. We were just sweating.
Can't cook at home. Can't go get food somewhere else.
That's right. Yep.
This is why we need our gas stoves left alone.
You ain't lying. And I got a KitchenAid gas range sitting in there that's going in the house.
Right. Ooh, I like that.
And a wood burning stove.
Oh.
So, and a gas water heater. So,
nice. Well, so while we're right there, I mean, let's just segue. Slab's okay. All the foundation work on the house, everything's okay. Did anything get damaged?
No, it all got covered up. So you cannot see the foundation. All the sand in the middle between, in all the forms, it just washed.
Okay.
So all you can see is the rebar sticking up where the footings are. There's a little bit of rebar sticking up through the sand. They're supposed to come this week, dig all the sand out off of the footings, regrade it. They have to do the whole thing over again. The plumber came out, hallelujah. The plumber came out, and he is done roughing everything in.
Nice.
So as soon as they get the footings and everything dealt with, they're going to pour a slab, hopefully next week.
Nice. I was worried. I was like, I hope nothing fell on that. Did it wash too much? I mean, there's some considerations with that. I mean, when it's exposed.
Yep.
But hey, I'd rather a storm like this happen now than like being like in the sticking phase of the build, and all that, and all that lumber getting wet and all, which it can handle some of it, but
yeah, it's just not good for wet, dry, and
right.
It was pretty bad. And then, the podcast got held up, and then we had like a late install we were on. We had softball games. All three of my kids are on the same softball team. Hey, buddy, that's 3 people.
Right.
So if we miss a game, 3 folks aren't on the team. So
we got to forfeit. The Turners didn't show up. Sorry.
So we're moving softball games around, and it was like, and they let you know about an hour before the game starts, by the time it gets to the parents.
Yeah.
So we had to cancel one night due to that. Tammy's
I've
dad
had some crazy install stuff going on that's delayed us getting on here.
Yeah.
Like, it's just been a calamity in here. And then you've got Tammy's dad.
Yeah, he's in the hospital. I think he's coming home. He should be home now. He came home today.
Nice. Good.
So yeah, we'll see about that. Yeah, it's just a lot of crazy stuff has been going on. But it's nice to be sitting here, and we can finally. I just feel like it actually turned into kind of like a burden.
Yeah,
because I was
that
like,
was the
man,
thing.
we
I was
really
like,
need to do it.
and I felt bad. Like I was, and not like I don't know. I don't want to put it a certain way, make it sound a different way. But I would like message you, hey, you think we can record tonight? Not like a pressure thing. Hey, like we need to record, but just
Yep.
hey, just what do you think? How are you looking? And I was just kind of to the point where like, yeah, it's starting to feel like pressure on my side too. I'm just gonna let it be because this is supposed to be fun.
That's
So
right.
I was
Yep.
like, I'm just gonna let it be. And when it works out, it works out. But we were actually supposed to leave this morning for vacation. I'll tell you why we're still sitting here
Uh-oh.
later. But we're leaving in the morning, and we'll be gone for a week. So that's when I messaged you today. I was like, hey, this if we want to try to make one this week, tonight's kind of my last availability. I could maybe try to record at the beach. I don't know how well that would go, with seagulls in the background or anything. Because I'm
Yeah.
telling you something, come Friday morning, Travis is going to be gummy bears and sunshine. I'm just going to be playing on the beach. I'm going to be the easiest vacation person you have ever seen.
There you go.
I chair, sand, cooler, me. That's it.
Yep.
I'm done. Umbrella.
That is-
Sorry, I need an umbrella.
That is a vacation, buddy. Now, to
Yeah.
me, that would be complete torture. But to you, you're just like, that's where I want to be.
That's
and
where
I'd
I
be
wanna
like,
be.
hey,
I
you wouldn't have to
want
worry about me down there, will you?
to stake my spot until the sun goes down. That's just me.
So we got a little bit longer to catch up.
So this may be a little extended podcast, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and warn you on the forefront here. We're about 20 minutes in. I'm just gonna warn you that this very well may be a little bit longer one. But it'll be worth it
Unless I fall asleep.
for us.
Yeah. So who wants to go first? Now that we got all the bad stuff out of the way.
Dude, I feel like you've got way more and just the challenges part
Yeah.
of having to, the things you've had to overcome, maneuvering things around. So let's just go. Just
All
go.
right.
And I don't know that we can do this as a traditional, like, your week with my week. I think we just need to, let's just kind of talk and we'll just see where it goes.
All right. So a few of the high points that happened during the last week was some of you may know what a DR mower is. And so that is a self-propelled walk-behind bush hog. And it's the one, Tammy brought it up to me, and she was like, we need some way to kind of cut this underbrush and stuff back here around the house and this and that. Tractor and the bush hog is out right now. So we were just like, what can we do? And I said, oh, well, you need a DR mower. She said, what's that? And I said, oh, man, that's that thing. Dude, that's what you need for dealing with this stuff, So she goes and looks, claims she couldn't find one. But when I looked, I found one 3 miles down the road.
Okay.
So I was like, awesome. So we go down there, and this is on the notes, by the way.
What is this under?
This is
Bush hogs and poke salad.
and poke salad, yeah. So
That's the one. For those of you who are watching me on YouTube with the completely perplexed face, that is why I completely missed that note and was looking down to see what we were supposed to be talking about, maybe. And I said, I hope I didn't write that because I don't know what that is.
So I called the guy, and I said, hey, can I come down and look at it? And he's like, yeah, man, come on, look at it. So we went down there. I believe it was on a Sunday evening, I think. Anyway, we go down there, and this dude is loaded down with junk in his yard, right? I mean, old school trucks. I mean, just junk. He's, I don't know if he's a hoarder or a junk collector. I don't know.
Is there a difference?
Not really. And so
Okay.
we get there, and he's like, there it is. And I was like, oh, yeah, man, look at this thing. 17 horse, Kawasaki motor on it, man, 30-inch bush hog. Man, this thing is great. Good price on it. Hey, that should have been, clue number one. So anyway, we get it, and he fires it up. He's like, man, it's been gone through front to back. You ain't got to worry about nothing. We replaced everything need to be replaced on it. I was all right, good.
So when he fires it up, are we talking about like purring like a kitten, or are we talking about like?
Oh no, purred like a kitten.
Okay, it's sounding good. At
Oh
least.
yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
And he's like, this is how you turn the blades on. And he turned the blade on. I was like, man, that thing sure is quiet. Like I can't even hardly hear the blade turning. And he takes it down. He tries to mow something or whatever. I don't know. And it's just laying the grass down. And I'm like, pretty sure it's supposed to be cutting something. So we look under there, and I'm going to expedite this, but we look under there, and the blade is just wobbling, right? And I said, oh, well, the nut needs to be tightened up on the bottom of the blade. Nope, wouldn't tighten up. So the blade sits on a bushing, right? And the bushing was thicker than the blade was. So when you put the nut on the bottom, you're just touching the bushing. You're not touching the blade. And so that kind of got me thinking. I was like, that's weird, because this guy says, they went through everything and it works. Pretty sure you would have checked the blade on the thing.
So you're saying essentially the shaft is spinning, but the blade is not tight enough on the shaft to actually spin.
That's right. And the nut is hitting the piece of metal that the blade sits over. So the nut's not even
further.
Yeah, that's right. Will not get any tighter. So anyway, he says, man, I got a mechanic buddy of mine. He can probably, all we need is a spacer, man. And I'm thinking, dude, do you remember Diamond Dallas Page?
Yeah.
Okay, picture Diamond
DDP.
Yep, picture DDP rolling up on a 2008 Honda Shadow 250.
Okay.
Wife beater shirt, blonde curly hair, and he gets off the bike, walks up just like he's just seen a ghost.
Dog the bounty hunter at 20.
Exactly. Yeah, dog the bounty hunter. He's like, what's going on, man? What's happening? What's going on? And I was like, who is this dude? Of course, my wife's there. Joseph is there.
I mean, is he all wide-eyed like that? I mean, it's like,
he's wide-eyed, man. It's like he's just...
Maybe he's friends with your buddy that got arrested in front of your shop.
Yeah, he could have been. I don't know. But anyway, he's looking up under there. He goes, man, I got some washers that'll work. So he takes off and he comes back.
Where's he going?
Yeah, he lives like a couple miles down the road.
Okay.
So he comes back. It's like 30 minutes later, and I'm getting this guy's complete life story that's selling us this mower, right? And we're talking and talking. Dude, there's stray cats. I mean, it's a whole thing. So the dude comes back, does not have the washers. In other words, like in replace of the washers, he comes back with a bunch of crap that wasn't even close. Like, I don't know what happened between when he was with us and when he went home. But I was like, what happened? We had a plan. And you didn't execute the plan. What are we doing?
I got home and I knew I was supposed to get something, but I couldn't remember what it was, so I just grabbed anything, hoping it was right.
My goodness, man. So this is now about an hour and a half has gone by, and I said, "Listen, dude, here's what I'll pay you for it. Are you good with that?" And he's like, "Yeah." So I put it on the trailer.
So you juked him down a little bit more than he was.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, I told DDP there, I was like, hey, you see those bushes over there? Like, that's all I'm cutting. Like, I think this will be perfect for what we're doing. Dude, he looks over there, and it was poke salad. That's what was growing over there. So for those of you who don't know,
welcome to the lost look on my face. What the is poke salad?
Poke salad is a weed that grows around here. It's a broadleaf weed.
It looks
kind of It looks kind of like a tobacco plant.
So you can smoke it.
Well, I mean, you can dry it out and smoke it, but I don't know what's going to happen. So what you can do is you can pick the leaves off of it. If they're fairly small plants still, you can pick the leaves off of it, and people eat it all the time. It's just like collard greens, turnips, anything like that. And so this guy's going over there, dude, and he just starts breaking these plants up. And the dude was like, are you going to eat that or whatever? And he goes, no, man, it's the best tea you ever drank. And I said, what, tea? He's like, yeah, look, man, you take this stalk right here and you cut it up and boil it in some water. You'll be asleep in 5 minutes, man. And I was like, wait a minute.
So you can smoke it.
And I was like, so you take the stalk and you put it in water and boil it and drink it. He goes, oh yeah, man, it's good too. And you drink it, boom, you're asleep in 5 minutes. And I said, is that healthy though? Like, if you make a tea and the tea puts you to sleep in 5 minutes, I'm not drinking it, first of all.
This is an Appalachian delicacy, it says.
Yeah, poke salad. So anyway, he's like, hey man, I ain't in there with all them pharmaceuticals. You know what I'm saying? I like natural medicine. I'm a medicinal guy.
I believe he is.
I was like, yeah, I bet you are, buddy. I bet that ain't the only green leafy vegetable you got sitting around your house.
It's called
And then it's,
pokeweed. Pokeweed.
yeah, poke weed, poke salad. Yeah, y'all look it up. It's pretty neat.
It also
But
says that it can be toxic when ingested improperly.
who knows? I don't
That's,
need it.
I'm just saying.
So then DDP goes to leave, right? And he's got his poke salad strapped down on the back of his motorcycle, and his battery dies. And this dude, it's a big dude, man. And he's like, he's getting all mad, and he's like, and I said, oh boy. So he's got to go over to one of those old trucks in the yard and jump his motorcycle off. Then he couldn't get off the motorcycle to unhook the jumper cables because the motorcycle kept dying. So he's backing it up. He's sitting there revving it up. And he backs it up and he goes, hey man, shut that hood. I gotta go. I can't get off of this thing. And he's gone down the road. And Tammy looks at me, and I look at the dude that was, that was selling us the DR mower, and I said, hey man, what model truck is that over there?
Like it's another day. Just an average day in the neighborhood.
And Tammy rears back, man, and punches me in the daggum arm, and the dude ain't looking, She's like, what are you doing? And I said, I want to know about this truck. And she said, we need to go. We need to get in the truck, and we need to leave. So we got the mower, got it home, and then after that, I found out I had to order a new spindle, a new bearing, a new hub, a new blade, a new nut. I had to get a differential cable lock. I learned how a carburetor works, and I learned what a carburetor gasket is for the fuel bowl. I learned that you have an idle screw and you have like a high-speed screw, something like that. And I also learned about the charging system on a DR mower. So there's that.
So offcuts at styleboys.com for all your DR mower needs.
Yeah.
Mitch is here to troubleshoot it for you.
I can just about tell you what's wrong with it, buddy.
Just shoot us an email there, and he'll promptly respond.
And Tammy's like, let's take it back. Because the guy said, if you have any trouble, and I called the guy, and I said, listen, man, I'm having a lot of trouble out of this thing, He's like, well, take it back. I'll give you money. And I said, oh, no, it's personal now. I'm fixing it. I'm fixing it, buddy. This is going to be a brand new mower. That's right. So that was a DR mower story. And Tammy goes, man, you never know what's going to happen when you. Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think she's going to go with me for a while when I go buy some. But see, Chris and I, man, we do that all the time.
Just another day in the neighborhood,
it's just
right?
another day. And I was like, when I was growing up, man, my dad used to take me to some shady places, man. Because he'd be over there doing work or whatever, And I never thought anything about it as a kid. I'm with Daddy. Ain't nothing going to happen to me. I'm good.
I'm safe.
Yeah. But, and we got in and Joseph said, Daddy, I didn't know how that thing was going to go, man. That guy started freaking out on that motorcycle. And I was like, yeah, he's all right.
It felt like the restaurant all over again.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is it up and running, or are you waiting on parts?
So it's up and running. The only thing that's I had to put a voltage regulator on it. Come to find out that wasn't a problem. It's either the stator or the flywheel magnets, but I'm not buying either one of those. I can just charge it up and, run it for a while. But
so do you think you still got a good deal despite the fact that you had to buy parts?
Oh, yeah, I got it for less than a third of what they are new.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. That's all that matters.
Yep, and I think it's going to do, because DR, one thing about DR is they make their stuff really easy to work on.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out how to take the carburetor off. It's two nuts, so it's pretty good. But other than that, let's see, we're gonna run through the list here. Trey split his hand wide open with a busting maul.
Didn't he? Holy Moses.
Yep. We took the stitches out yesterday. I took one out. He took the rest of them out here, or he might have been at home. But yeah, he was splitting wood, and the wood was wet as from one of the storms, and the wood was wet, and it was wet. It was like pushing back against the busting maul, and then the busting maul shot out of the top and landed right on the back of his hand. So it's like, I don't know, 9:30 at night. I get a picture of his hand,
a good one.
And I'm thinking,
a good one.
Yeah, I was thinking, what happened? And he told me the
email
story.
me if I can share that picture. I'll share it when this episode
Yeah.
releases. Let us know if that's okay with you.
Yeah, because somebody's going to think it was one of us, got our hand on the table saw or something. But, a few
I
stitches,
thought
he was all right.
well, when you sent it to me, my first instinct, I said, what happened? I mean, what happened at the shop?
Yep.
I mean, I was like, how did that, how
Yeah,
did that happen?
our worker comp guy is going to be glad to know that didn't happen here.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got, Riley's transmission was acting up. That's another thing.
No, I didn't know
And
that.
yeah, got to where it wasn't shifting and went on a couple of weeks. And I said, well, we need to take it somewhere. And I got the bid back on that to totally rebuild the transmission.
How bad?
$2,600 on a $4,000 truck. So, and here's the deal with that. We'll just sell it. Okay. If somebody sold you a truck with a bad transmission in it, then we're not going to get anything for it.
Right.
And then you got a truck with a bad transmission. We're not going to sell it to somebody with a bad transmission. And it's not like we could have sold it and they wouldn't have known.
Right.
You know what I mean? It wasn't like an intermittent thing. It was out.
Well, I wouldn't say sell it. I mean, my thing is, do you rebuild it or do you buy a new transmission? Like, where's your best money spent? Like,
so I talked to the guy, and you can rebuild. Now, if the transmission shop knows what they're doing, you can rebuild one, and it's basically just internal parts.
okay.
So if you buy a new transmission, it's going to come with a new casing, and that casing costs money. So, and I'm not going to give him a shout out until we get the truck back and it's working.
There you go.
So, but he comes highly recommended. And
I mean, is that essentially the difference between a new and a rebuilt is just not having a new casing?
Yeah. Because all the gears are going to get re-put in, the pumps, the filters, the lines, the coolers, the board, everything is new parts.
Gotcha.
So, you can't have your daughter out there stuck on the side of the road, and if she needs a truck, she needs it to be working. So we got that. Like I said, the plumbing was done on the house. That was on there. We finished the church job. I put that out on Facebook.
That looked good, man. I like your little tactic too to make it look even better.
Yeah, well, that actually came from the lady who runs a nursery. She sent that to me, and she said, I just thought you might like a before and after, and I was like, actually, I'm going to post it.
Yeah. I love before and afters. I think they look great,
Yeah.
A little, and I'll give you a hint. And for those of you who are like trying to post your work, I never thought about this. This was something that my wife pointed out to me. Always, if you're going to post, like, especially on Instagram, you're going to post like a picture, like multiple pictures of a project. Always post the picture of the pretty thing first, because when you're looking at somebody's Instagram page, you're looking at all the posts. That's what you're going to see. She's like, nobody wants to see the crappy thing and then look and see what it became.
Yeah.
They just want to see the finished product. And if they click in it and they want to see the beginning, it's in there. But when you overall want to review somebody's work, you want to just see good work. You want to see the pretty.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And so I was like, I never thought of it that way. Like the way that, I just, my mind didn't process it that way. So just when you're looking at your Instagram page as a social media, as a portfolio of your work, post your after pictures first and then your before pictures inside of it. And it just looks better.
Yeah. And it'll draw more attention to it,
It does.
But, and I didn't put anything special in there. I mean, it was a standard base cabinet, standard overhead, but what they had was in a cheap trailer from 1980 that I didn't know. My pastor told me they pulled that sucker out of the river.
The trailer?
So, yes. So
Really?
it's a double wide, and it's from, like I said, it's 1980 model. And of course, he wasn't pastor at the time, but whatever pastor was there, they pulled that sucker out of the water, because they're like, if you get it out, you can have it. And they replaced all the floors. And I noticed something when I pulled the old vanity off the wall. I had new 2x4s for the bottom 3 feet.
Huh.
And come to find out, they had to cut all that stuff out because it was all water damaged.
Interesting.
So, yep. So we put her a new light fixture in, hung the bulletin board up, got a new cabinet countertop, redid the plumbing, up under there. So that was a good deal. And let me tell you something, man. And my pastor was he was like, well, let us know how much it is. And I said, I'm not going to charge you. I'll preface that by saying I have done work for my church before, and I did charge full price.
Yeah.
Right. But they had a water leak, and, this is for the nurseries, not a lot of cabinetry. It was 2 cabinets.
Right.
So, basically I could build it with stuff I already had on hand, and it was just a decision that I made because, to me, I felt like that was the right decision. And I'm not saying this to brag, because like I said, I did charge them for the first job I did. It was an office and some overheads and all that stuff. And the pastor was like, man, you need, give me an invoice. I said, well, let me do this. I'll invoice you for the materials, and you write that off as a church donation. So at the end of the year, we donated at church. He said, that's fine. That's fine. So, but anyway, she was, and look, if you're going to sit in the nursery all day, dude, and take care of all these other people's little snotty, bratty little kids and babies.
Screaming.
Yeah. What do you want?
Yeah.
And I gave her exactly what she wanted. She picked out the paint, the countertop, the hardware, and so, of course, I ran it all through the pastor, and I was like, hey, you good with this? He's like, yep, whatever she wants, put it in there. I said, okay. So,
yeah,
that was nice to do. It's a good little job. Now, it was aggravating dealing with the plumbing.
Really?
And I made Trey do that. I said, I'm going to do all this, and all you have to do is hook the drain up.
Yeah, no
and, of
problem.
course, that was a trip to the plumbing store and trying to figure out what we needed, and, oh, man, what a mess. But
and
anyway.
Another trip to the plumbing store to get what you didn't get the first time, and then another trip to the plumbing store to take back what you got that you didn't need.
I needed 2 couplings. And I left out of there with 4 couplings, a rubber slip joint, about 6 foot of pipe. I mean, glue. I mean, I had, I tried to think of everything I
walked out with $100 worth of supplies and needed $10 worth of it.
That's it. But, so we got that done. We got delivery today of plywood and lumber for the big job and then the job right behind it.
So I'm going to ask you something because I've meant to ask you before. The rack that you've got your plywood on, I need some details on that.
I will get it to you, buddy.
I mean, like legit need details on that because I got to have a rack for the new shop.
Yep. I love that rack.
I would like to do it flat stored this time. All my stuff's vertical right now. All my plywood is. I built a plywood rack when I was in the garage and I've just moved it to this shop and it works. But it can't hold any volume.
That, and you have to pick it up and swing it over your head to get it on the table saw or something. Mm-hmm. And mine is already basically over my head. Most of it is chest high. I have it on there a certain way.
Right.
And I just slide it right off, boom, right on the table saw. And that, man, dude, it was 122 sheets of plywood today.
That's a lot.
And 400 board foot of lumber and 20 board foot of stained grade maple.
That's more than you said. I thought you said 400 pounds of lumber, and I was like, that's not that much lumber, but 400 board foot, that's a different number.
Yeah, 400 board foot, and it's it's 50 cabinets on that job.
You did say board foot. I just saw pounds, but you said board foot.
Yeah, BF got you.
Yeah, I did.
But like I said, I did the drawings on that, and it's 50 cabinets. We're going to start milling all that stuff up tomorrow.
Nice.
What time we start depends on what time I get done here tonight.
Gotcha. I understand that.
But anyway, and then the job right behind that we ordered materials for is going to be an inset job. So I've done a little bit of inset. Yeah, really. I've done a little bit of inset before. This is a whole job, this inset. They are not really sparing any cost. I mean, they went Undermount Guides. They went Stained Island. They're doing inset everywhere. I mean, the real fancy curved hood. And it's the job's 3 minutes down the road, man. I mean, it's great. Super nice people so far to work for. But anyway.
Where are we at on Sam's job that you've been waiting on an answer for?
That's the big job.
That is, so we're moving?
Oh, yeah, we're cutting that job out tomorrow.
You got approval on that finally?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Boy, that only took a month and a half.
Man, and then it came to hardware. I was like, hey, what do they want for hardware? And I'm going to read you the text, okay? And this is of no fault of Sam's because he forwards me their texts.
Well, at least on hardware, you got a little bit of time. Like, you can start cutting plywood while they figure that out.
Yeah, exactly. Now,
Yeah.
here's the text I got. These are the cabinet knobs we want. Gold is downstairs. Black is downstairs. Black is upstairs. There's, for you YouTube people, there's
How
the
many
text.
how many stairs are there? Is this a three?
I
many
mean, I thought it was
downstairs
just a
are
true
there?
story. So he's like, hey, did you get that text? I was like, yeah, it don't make any sense. He's like, what do you mean? I said, read it. He's like, gold is downstairs, black downstairs. Oh, yeah, let me call and check on that. I was like, yeah, dude, because I'm not ordering hardware based on that. I mean,
Yeah.
come on, man. And then, of course, their hardware was like my cost, dude. It was like over $7 a piece.
Really?
Yeah, and this hardware here, it don't say the MSRP because she didn't have it selected. But anyway, I told him, I said, dude, she's going to be like $400 over on the hardware cost. And he goes, let me call her and see. And I'm thinking, great, man, here goes another 2 weeks of waiting
Right.
on hardware. And he called back that night and said, yeah, run it. Let's go with
Run
it.
it.
And I said, okay. And of course, the customer's not going to give you a size. They like the hardware, right? So the
Right.
builder and I, and this is kind of why you need a good builder, we sat on the phone 15, 20 minutes going over the added cost of her hardware and the size of it. Because I was talking to him, I was like, dude, 96 millimeter center to center, I don't feel like it's going to be big enough. Like, I kind of know these people and all that. And he's like, yeah, that does seem kind of small. So we're looking at all the measurements, and we decided to bump it up some, to the next size. He talked to him about that. He's like, yep, let's do it. And the difference between a good builder and a bad builder is a good builder is going to be like, here's a cabinet guy's phone number, call him. A good builder, I might have said, anyway, a good builder is going to talk to me. We're going to talk to each other.
Right.
We're going to figure it out so he can then communicate back with the client.
Right.
And everybody knows what's going on, so.
You don't
it's
want
just-
somebody just to go, it's his problem. I'm done.
Exactly. Yep. And that's why I work for these two builders, because both of them are like that, man. They know that builder knows every square inch of those cabinets, just like the homeowner does, just like I
Well,
do.
he's got to be invested in it too.
Yeah. And it shows.
I mean,
in
it's
the
his
end product.
I mean, it's. I think we've said this before. I mean, technically, he's your customer, and the customer is his customer. The customer is technically not your customer.
That's right.
If you want to look at the delineation of things, so if the customer becomes your customer, then what the hell do you need the builder for? I mean,
That's right.
other than you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean,
and
but
it's,
he needs to be your customer.
and the other
and that
part
way-
of that is it's his house.
Right.
Yeah, the customer's making decisions, but right now that house is his responsibility.
Yeah.
That is his house.
Yeah.
And so, they need to be involved. And
Yeah.
you'll know if your builder's not involved. And
Well,
then
because
if he's not-
ultimately, if something breaks bad between the customer and the builder, and the customer bails out, who's left?
that's right.
It's the builder. So the builder needs a stake in what they're going to be handed.
Yeah.
Should
And
should the customer disappear?
yep.
You know.
And I've been in the situation where the homeowner told me what they wanted. The builder had something else in mind. And now we got a big old, whose fault is it?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, the customer told me this because you told me to get with the customer. Well, they didn't tell us they were doing that. I'm like, well, here's your cabinet. Where's my check?
Right.
Like, have a good day. I don't,
Yeah.
I don't know
That's
what
all
to
well
tell
and
you.
good, but here you go.
And we did 2 quotes during that time. So, things are really they're stacking up now. See, we went from like a little lull. And now I told
Feast and
Trey,
famine.
yep, I told Trey today, I said, you better get ready, buddy. Eat you a good breakfast. Get ready for some overtime. We
In the
fixing to
words
make
of my
some
Irish
cabinets.
friend, eat your potatoes. That's a little bit of Arnold Schwarzenegger's accent. I don't know what a Irish accent would really be like, but
And dude, we're almost done. Y'all hang in there. I'm almost done.
well,
We're going on a canoe trip this weekend.
super jealous. Super jealous.
Why?
I
You going to the beach?
I love canoe trips. So I actually just talked to Kim and the girls. I was like, hey, before the summer's out, what do y'all think about doing? There's a place right around the corner from us. Like it is, 15 minutes, 5 minutes
Yeah.
from the shop. I'm like, hey, I want to do a canoe trip this summer. Are y'all in? We used to go, as a kid, we used to go with the church every year. and I loved it. I am super jealous of you. So where y'all going?
We're going to Alabama Adventures,
Okay.
or no, I'm sorry, Adventures Unlimited, which is in Milton, Florida. And
You might be going. Is that close to Blackwater, Florida? Do you know?
no, this is not Blackwater. It's
Okay.
not the Warrior River. It's not the Blackwater River. This is I can't remember the name of the river now. It's a weird
Milton
name.
River.
Yeah, probably.
I think we used to go to Blackwater, Florida. I think that's where we went canoeing.
We
at.
always went to Blackwater.
Okay.
And we've always enjoyed it. We just decided to try something new. And so we're going down. Me and my family, Mom and Mark, are going down
Oh, nice.
Friday night. And then Chris and Rachel and Sam and Kate decided they wanted to get up Saturday morning early,
Cool.
drive to Milton,
Yeah.
and be on the canoe at like 8 o'clock in the morning. And I said, dude, that ain't
That's
going
an
to work with
early
my
morning.
crew, man.
That's
You
an
talking about-
early morning.
Hey, you talking about my 4? Oh,
Yeah.
no. Oh, no. They ain't finna get up until 4 o'clock in the morning. You
So
crazy?
you gonna pull a camper down there and camp, or what are you gonna do?
So we got a hotel in Milton,
Okay.
about a 30-minute drive. So we're going to go down there, spend the night, Friday night in the hotel, get up, go canoeing, go back to the hotel, get cleaned up, go out to eat, spend the night again, ease back on Sunday. Man, I tell you what, if I've learned one thing, growing up and being an adult with kids, don't make that crap hard on yourself, man.
No.
Don't think, dude, we're talking, it's going to be 100 and something degrees down there, and we're going to be
Yeah.
on the water in the sun. You ain't doing that in one day, homie. Ain't
Yeah.
no chance. Y'all are going to kill each other.
Yeah, there's no way.
No.
And that's my problem. We're at the point now. Like we go somewhere now, it's 2 hotel rooms.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a 19-year-old and a 15-year-old. I mean, and so that's 3 girls against one dude. I mean, we went to, and the point where I decided that this was no longer going to be, we went to my grandmother's funeral, and every time somebody had changed clothes, you know what happened? I got shoved in the bath. Not that somebody would go in the bathroom and change clothes.
Yeah.
Go sit in the bathroom.
You got to
I'm
go
like,
leave.
I was like, you know what? This is it. This is the last time that the 4 of us share a hotel room. I don't care what it costs. If we can't afford 2 hotel rooms, we're not going.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yep.
I mean, but just life gets more complicated as you do things like that. But
Yeah,
it's
you just have to do it where everybody's gonna, dude, it's worth another what's a hotel, 150,
Right.
180 bucks now.
It's
Dude,
worth
that's
it.
a small potatoes to let everybody, chill out.
it's worth it.
And
I
then,
remember when we were in young, we would go canoeing with the church group though. That's when the first time I went, and I loved it. I didn't understand it, but like so, all the food and the people who didn't want to participate got put in one canoe, right?
oh yeah,
Right, the coolers and the food and all the other canoes were free game. So you'd be canoeing, you'd see somebody you knew. It was like paddle as hard as you could, get up to them and try to flip them.
yeah, yeah.
And then try to paddle away. But there was a couple of canoes, if it had food or, it was just ladies, they would be off limits. But it was just a group, I mean, it was like 10, 15 canoes, a group, And then we went one year, and this is super fun. I think your crew would really enjoy this. We actually did an overnight canoe trip. So loaded, it was just the 4 of us. My sister was little, but we loaded everything in the new canoe. We rode down to a point. They kind of gave you like you should go this many hours, I think, is how they judged it. And then find a sandy spot, camp, and then you canoed the rest of it the next day. And it was actually, for a family vacation, it was a lot of fun. Like for people who are not, I wouldn't say my family's super outdoorsy, you know what I'm saying? But it was super fun. Like it's one of those vacations that is earmarked in my mind that like that overnight canoe trip was fun.
Yeah, and dude, it's all about really. I mean, you're in a canoe, but man, bring good snacks, bring good drinks. Don't and you'll have a good time because pretty much
Bring
anybody,
your bullet bourbon.
Yeah, and
sunscreen. Don't forget sunscreen.
oh boy, you think
Sunscreen.
my wife is making me wear shorts. These legs ain't seen the sun in 2 decades, cuz.
Please take pictures. I'm texting Tammy. Somebody please take pictures. Miss
gonna
Diane,
have me-
please. Oh, will this air before y'all go? Is there any chance of this airing before y'all go?
No.
Miss Diane, please. Oh, I'm
Nope.
emailing your mom back. You want to pay? Hey, you want to pay your son back for spitting on camera? Please take pictures. Please take pictures.
She's got 900 unread emails. Good luck getting through that one, buddy. But yeah, these are lily white legs. I ain't seen the sun in 20 years, but it's
The only
just gonna
color
be.
on them things is the hair.
That's it, man. And there ain't enough of that to sun shield them. So I'm gonna be just lathered up. I'm gonna like some kind of cream puff or something, because I'm gonna be out there all
just
lathered
a
up.
walking bottle of zinc.
Yeah. I ain't taking no chances, dude. A sunburn at 40? Nope.
And gotta go to work the next, in 2 days.
Yeah, I ain't gonna do that. No.
Trey, you got to cut everything. I can't move.
Yeah. And so I'll let you know how to. I guarantee you, man. You talking me, Chris, Rachel, Tammy, Mom, Mark, everybody's kids.
See, the first at the beach, first couple of days, I'll risk it. Right, like I'm a little willing to risk it.
Yeah.
But there's a point in the week, I'm like, hey, Daddy's got to go to work. I ain't risking it no more. I'm lathering down.
Dude, I'm gonna be smelling sunburn whatever you call it, sunblock for a week after I get back. It's gonna be all in my ears and everything, dude. I ain't taking no chances. I got burned at Talladega one time and still ain't heard the end of it.
Yeah, it ain't no joke.
So I made a small purchase. Remember, we talked about footwear.
I love purchases.
Yeah. So I got to looking online. I've got my left heel is like giving up the ghost on me. I don't know if it's Achilles tendonitis or a heel spur. It is not plantar fasciitis.
So you don't need a little topaz?
Nope, I don't need a little topaz. I don't need that. But I do need to walk. And so it's been getting harder and harder and harder to put weight on that foot. And just hurt, sore. So anyway, I got to looking and I said, well, maybe, I went soft shoes for a while and it helped. And then it came back and it came back. And I was like, well, now maybe I need to go to more of a supportive boot. And like any other rabbit hole, I go to YouTube and I'm like, boots for working on concrete. And yep. So I found Thorogoods.
I think I've heard of those.
Yep, Thorogoods. You can't get them anywhere. You got to kind of hunt around for a place that sells them. They're
Sykes
obviously they're no. We had to go to Don Walker's in Troy.
Never heard of it.
Oh man, Western store, dude.
Really?
What are you talking about, man? It's an awesome place. But anyway, so I got the mock toe. They're right here. Here, I'll show you.
Mock toe, does that mean it doesn't really have a toe? It just pretends to have a toe?
It's just a mock toe, man. Here,
I want to see you get your foot up in this camera. How
about that? Huh?
So they almost, I like them. They almost look like the Brunt boot, but I don't like the Brunt boots at all.
Yeah, I don't know. But the thing about them is, you
They're
learn
tall.
stuff.
Are they stiff up at the ankle? Or are they soft?
No. They're the leather on them is really soft.
Okay.
No blisters, no break in. I mean, I put them on, started wearing them. And so what I'm looking for, I'm on concrete all day, right?
Right.
And soft isn't always the best option. I think I need my whole foot, almost like a boot the doctor gives you, right? I need my foot supported in something.
Yeah.
And man, dude, I never thought a work boot would work on concrete.
Yeah.
But these are, I love them. I love them so far. Super comfortable.
Have you ever been to one of those places where you like stand on the mat and it like kind of scans your feet and it'll like match you up with like an insole?
Yeah, I did that one time. I can't remember how, like if it worked or not. I don't remember.
Well, I did that, and I've got these insoles that it seems like, for the most part, no matter what shoe I put those insoles in, I'm pretty good. Like, because the insole is structured correctly. That's been a pretty big savior for me and my back. But I'm telling you guys, hey, guys, if you're on concrete, if you're on your feet all the time, whether you're doing this kind of stuff or whether you're, standing stationary, like, at a cash register, at a grocery store or whatever it is, to quit being cheap on your shoe wear. It
Yeah.
is going to kill your hips and your back.
I'm telling you, man.
I'm telling you, if you get over the shell shock. If you got to drop $250 on a pair of shoes and they fit you and it's worth it. I promise you, it's worth it. You'll buy that pair of shoes. They'll last you a good 6 months. You'll wear them out, maybe a year, and you'll replace them. But once I got out of cheap shoes, quit buying shoes at, almost said Marvin's. Marvin's doesn't sell shoes. Marshalls or wherever you can find the cheap New Balance. I mean, and there are grades to shoes. Like, just because it says New Balance or just because it says Nike, like, there are grades to shoes. And once you get out of those lower end grades and you move up, I'm telling you, I haven't been to a chiropractor in probably 3 years.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh man, if you get now, and me, like, let's just take me for an example. I've always loved a boot, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I want a boot on my foot, man. The tennis shoes, I would roll and, like, you step on rocks and they kind of get all wobbly and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, but they were helping my heel. So I went back to a boot. I instantly felt more like me, more like myself. But don't go to Walmart and buy a cheap pair of boots and think you have boots. There's a lot of differences in a good pair of boots and, a cheap pair of boots. Like, you get what you paid for with work boots. Absolutely. So,
and don't, just because we talked about this, the episode that just aired, so it's kind of fresh in my mind. We talked about this, like Mitch recommended the Hokas to me. I went and tried to put them on and they were god awful, the worst thing I'd ever had. So don't, just because they work for one person doesn't mean that they've got to work for you.
That's it.
All of our feet are different. Our backs are different. We've been through different things in our lives. So our bodies, react to it differently. So they're good points. Like, talk to somebody, you're like, hey, so like for me, like, I'm flat footed. So anytime somebody, like, I instantly hear somebody's flat footed and they work on concrete a lot, I'm like, hey, talk to me about it. What are you doing? What are you listening?
Yeah.
But I find out that they're not carrying any weight throughout the day. They're not lifting. They're not doing a lot of movement. They're kind of static. Well, that changes. I'm not static. I'm moving throughout the day. I've got a load on me most of the day, so that changed the situation. So use those similarities of what they've got, but don't just think because it's great for them that it's going to be great for you. It's a good starting point.
I ran into a guy when we were getting the plumbing stuff for the church. I noticed he had a pair on of Thorogoods. Yeah. And I was like, hey, dude, hate to bother you. I'm not some kind of creep. Talk to me about your shoes. Yeah, talk to me about those boots. He's like, dude.
Can I buy your socks?
Yeah, I want to sniff your shoes, man. But he goes, I've been through Red Wing, Irish Setters, Brunts, and all these kind of things. And he's like, I keep coming back to Thorogoods, man. He said, now, if you operate a shovel all day and you have that thin piece of metal that you're kicking all day long, he said, then I would go, I have another pair of boots or whatever I use for that. And I was like, well, I stand on concrete all day. He goes, oh, man, if you're standing all day, walking over rocks, dirt, grass, concrete, whatever, the Thorogoods, man, that I love them.
Yeah.
And so I pulled the trigger on the set, and, dude, I can walk around the shop all day. I can sit down for a little while, get back up, and the bottom of my feet are not sore. You've had that.
Yeah.
Well, the bottom of your feet, it's like you're walking on coals or something,
Yeah. Well, like when I worked at the gun range, so before I got into management at the gun range, and I was just working at the gun range, and I was like a safety officer on the range where you had like a 4-hour shift of standing there watching people shoot. You're not doing a whole lot of walking, but you're standing on that concrete the whole time. Once I started like management and I was walking around and moving through the store a lot more, the same shoe that was okay for that, it wasn't any good anymore.
Yep.
It's just different. You got to factor in what you're doing.
Yeah. So just finally, we'll see. I don't think it's going to help with the hit. Now it has helped a little bit with the heel pain because I don't have to push up on the ball of my foot so hard anymore.
Gotcha.
The heel kind of lifts little bit easier. So it has helped. It is not hurting as bad.
That sounds like a surgical solution. I hate to say that, but
And I don't know. I got it. I ran into I had somebody that had a heel spur removed, and they said, go see this dude. He's, he'll figure out what's wrong.
yeah,
Got to be able to walk, man, in the cabinet shop.
kind of necessary.
And that hour and 5 minutes was my last couple of weeks. And I know I'm forgetting some stuff. Oh, I got to tell you what Trey got me for my birthday.
Yes. What did he get?
So I wanted a front door for the house that had, we might have talked about it, but
This sounds like a big present.
No, it's not. But I wanted the front door. I saw it. It's a big medieval looking door, and it had the little trap door in it. Like you open it and see who's outside, and it had like the cage over the front. So anyway, yesterday he goes, hey, your birthday present's in. He said, don't feel bad if you don't like it. If you don't want it, I'll take it. So I knew right then, I was like, dude, you ain't getting my present. I'm fixing to love this Joker, man. I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
And it was kind of heavy, and it's coming in this weird box. And I was like, what in the world? And I opened it, man, and it is, I'll send you a video of it, but it is a speakeasy door.
Really?
That goes in a door, yeah. And from the inside, you do a little latch, and you open it, and we always go, who goes there? When somebody comes, like, who? Because it's like one of the medieval Jokers. And on the outside, it's got like this cage built around it, man. It is freaking awesome, dude.
That's
so
funny.
The first thing we did this morning is I went and put it on the office door, and we've been locking it. I've been locking the door so people have to knock, and then I'll swing the door open. Who goes there?
That's cool.
Yeah, he got me that. And it's just, it's a quirky thing. I get it. I get it. We're a bunch of Dumbledores, so I understand that. But, we enjoy it. I'll get more of a kick. I don't know what he paid for that thing, but that sucker will entertain me for years. I'll never get tired of it.
So you're gonna leave it on the office door, or are you gonna put it on the house?
No, I'm not gonna put it on. She's not gonna. Hey,
Mama said no. Okay.
No, that ain't gonna fly. I was like, Tammy, how can you not get a medieval door for the front that's got a speakeasy? Door, little mini door. Yeah, and she's like, you're not putting that on the house. And I said, Tammy, do you have any idea how cool this would be? And she's like, nope, not happening. I said, fine, well, you can't tell me what to put in my office. And I got her with it today too. Trey goes, hey, I'm gonna tell her to go back there and see you. Go in your office. I was like, all right. And I locked the door, and she knocks on the door. She goes, what is this? What is this? And I swing that sucker over. Who goes there? And she was just like shaking her head. She's like, you two, I don't know what I'm gonna do with y'all.
Did she find it slightly amusing?
Yeah, she did. She laughed about it.
Okay.
And I said, and she came in and she goes, that is pretty neat. And I said, oh, well, look who decided they liked it, a week after we ordered our doors.
Right.
Bathtub came in today damaged. That was nice.
Really?
It's just a small spot on the back rim.
Yeah.
And we're just going to get some, they said we could take some enamel paint and just kind of touch it. It's like little bitty spots, dude. It's nothing.
Gotcha.
So we're going to do that. Hey. Sucker's a little heavy, cheap, buddy.
Oh.
Well, oh, no, it ain't. Oh,
the cast?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, cast.
Cast iron, freestanding, 72 inches long, that Joker is.
You're going to lay down in that bad boy.
That's what she's going to do. And the back's like at an angle, man. I was like, really? Yeah. Well, I didn't have room for a 72-inch garden. I said, you don't need, if you sit down, you're not 72 inches long. What are you doing?
Well, I ain't lying. There's a couple of times I've gotten into, I get in my bathtub. It ain't often, but I will get in there every once in a while. I'm like, boy, it sure would be nice for my entire body to be wet, not my butt and my knees sticking out, or my knees and not my body. Like,
this is a 600-pound swimming pool, buddy. You can get in there.
Well, I know you think you're done, but
I'm done.
No, you're not. There's a point on there that you're going to tell me what it means.
Oh, wait a minute. I may not. I didn't look at the notes.
Undercover boss.
Oh, so we were Trey and I were talking, and so going back to the cabinet page, there's all these inside jokes and all the shop tours. Did you see my shop tour on there?
I
didn't know. That may not have been on that page. I got to see if you're on the other page. But anyway. Everybody was doing these really fast-paced shop tours, and so I did one, man, and I think it killed. I'm just saying. I think it was pretty funny. Oh. But so Trey and I were, we talk about things going down the road, and he was like, dude, what if you, put a wig on and we did this skit where like you were the undercover boss, and you came in there to work with me, and and so all he's gonna do is talk bad about me the whole time I'm in there. He's gonna be like, yeah, that Mitch is a real jerk, man. But you'll get used to him, you know. Most time he sits in the office with the air conditioner on and this and that, and so we're gonna shoot like this whole skit, and then I'm gonna take the wig. Look, I ain't gonna do nothing to my face. I'm not gonna put glasses on or anything. I'm just gonna have a little wig on, and I'm gonna take it off. And I'm like, hey man, guess what? It's really me.
It's really I'm really the CEO.
We're gonna do that. Be looking for that. We'll do that one day.
Trey sent me a picture of his everyday carry, by the way. Did you know that?
I saw him taking a picture of it today, but I didn't know who he was sending it to.
Yeah, he did.
That is Cat Scratch approved, buddy.
I don't know what this gay tape measure is he's wearing. What is this? Oh, he's got a start tape measure.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you need you don't need a 25-foot tape measure in a cabinet shop.
Not in the shop, but guess where you do need it?
Nowhere.
Dude, I got a house that I just did the quote today. It's got a 280-inch wall of cabinets.
Laser.
I use mine like a story pole. No, I use a 25-foot. Now, I'll give this to you.
But I'm always by myself, so I have to a laser.
Yeah.
It's the only way I can do something like that. I have to shoot a laser.
A 16-foot, a 12-footer, 16-footer is all you need in cabinet shop. But man, measuring these big houses, laying an island out and all that, it helps to have a longer one.
He does.
Now, he hates that tape measure now. He finally admitted it.
Oh, really? I mean, it's not like he got sent a really good tape measure.
That's right. That's right. Now, he couldn't read that one.
How could he not read it? It's all written on it.
Because there's more numbers than there are lines. All
Too much?
Yes. He was like, he's like, what line is that? I can't even. So just read the fraction.
I just think I've gotten so used to it now. I don't like. I look at a normal tape measure. I'm like, duh, what is the line?
Yep. And
I just can't. I can't decipher the lines now. I've just gotten so used to it.
And even when I change, I hold a tape measure as long as I mean years.
Yeah.
And when it finally wears out, or not years, it's actually months. But when it finally wears out, I have to get a new one. It's like reading another language. You know, it just looks different. You know, it's crazy how many thousands of times you look at your tape and it's second nature.
Yeah.
And then you get another one and you're like, man, I can't read it. But yeah, the rivets, I was disappointed in that Start tape. I mean, Start makes really good, you know, metalworking and machine type tools.
I still need the link for that punch for the Amazon punch.
Yeah, I'll send that to you.
Yeah. I was thinking about that yesterday. I think I was listening to that episode not too long ago. I was like, that punch. I forgot about that.
Yeah. The tip on that Start is junk, man. It's
really
junk. Get you a Stabila tape. Be done with it.
Look, I love you like a brother from another mother. I'm not changing tape measures.
Yeah. That's how I feel. I hate changing tapes.
And for me, and I get you, but another reason why I like what's that brand? What is it?
Fast Cap.
Fast Cap. Sorry. Yes, the Fast Cap tape measure is because that same tape, I can buy a matching tape. So that is also the tape on my table saw. Mm-hmm. It is also the tape on my miter saw station. So it is. I see it in multiple.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So see what I'm saying? So when I go, I don't have a different looking tape measure in different places because they sell that same tape measure comes in a stick-on version. Yeah. So when I put a new tape down, it all matches.
Yeah.
You know?
And
like when I got that Grizzly, the tape measure that came with it, I just threw it over. I didn't even think about putting it down. Before the Grizzly even got here, I'd already ordered another stick-on tape measure for it. Yeah. I was like, nope. No, because it just makes it. I mean, if you can universalize now, if I could do a Stabila that way, I think that's just one of the advantages of the Fast. Like if I could do a Stabila, or if I could do a Stanley, whatever, and you could do it in all your stations, and you see the same tape measure in all your places. Yeah, I think it improves efficiency. But again,
it does. Yeah.
But the other thing I like about the Fast Cap too is the repeatability. If I pull 1 1/4 inches on one tape measure and I pull 1 1/4 inches on the second tape measure, they're they're dang close. I mean, if they're not spot on, it's because of me probably.
Yeah.
You know.
And that's a good tip. If you're doing a project, I don't care if it's a birdhouse or $50,000 in cabinets, use one tape measure.
Yeah.
When you measure that, measure this, calibrate your equipment, use one tape measure, because
Yeah.
if you got two tape measures reading different, I mean, you're not going to know what you're doing. And
Well,
they read different. Trust me.
Oh yeah, my father. It's been a little bit, but I went down one day. My father-in-law moved into an old family house, and I went down to kind of help him for a weekend. And like I was cutting some pieces for him, and he would call out numbers, and I would go cut them and bring them back to him. And we'd always have to tweak them because he's using probably Pawpaw Stanley tape measure, and I was using, I don't know what I was using at the time, but they weren't the same, So
Yep.
sixteenths. Yeah, I mean sixteenths matter. I mean it's not rough construction. I mean if you're
That's
framing,
right.
nobody cares about a 16th. But if you're doing more fine carpentry, then yeah, I mean you're
Yeah.
down to
And
30 seconds. It matters.
I set my table saw to that tape, and I
Yeah.
also set the radial arm saw to that tape. But then I also have ways to calibrate that. I have a set measurement on my table saw outfeed that I can quickly check. It takes 30 seconds. I roll it, I check it to make sure my tape isn't bent, damaged. Because now if the end of it gets bent in,
Yep.
I could be a 16th off, and now every piece of wood I cut on the radial arm saw is a 16th short.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure your tape is right, and then what I do is I calibrate everything, make sure my tape reads the same. Because if you have an open and you say, cut me 113 and 11/16, and he
Yeah.
goes to a saw that's off, you just world will hurt.
I like I haven't gotten a pair, but I would like to get. I want to get a set of the 1, 2, 3 blocks for quick references and stuff. You seen
Yeah.
those?
Like to square a corner and stuff.
Well, just no, like just for spacers. So like it's 1 inch thick. How is it? 1 inch thick, 2 inches tall, 3 inches wide.
Oh, okay.
So you've got 3 quick reference measurements that you can do. Like if you want to check your check your tape off the blade, go to 3 and check and see. You can do it on 1. You can do a couple different things.
Okay,
but
yeah, that helps too. Yep.
yeah, they're pretty neat.
Well, I've got some questions for you, buddy.
What you got?
I don't know which one I want to go to first. Let's go.
Well, I'll be honest with you. There's one on there that I, honest to God, can't remember what the heck it is because it's been so long.
I'm pretty sure it's not this one.
Okay.
Safety first, broken finger.
Yep. I can tell you what that one is.
All right, let's hear it.
Yep. It's not broken. It's still damaged.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yep. So for the YouTubers, you can see it was a pretty decent cut. It actually, this finger hurt way more than the one that is actually cut. But I was feeding some sticks, 2-inch sticks of poplar, or no, they were soft maple, into the planer. They were probably like 6 to 8 inches long, 2 inches wide. Little over 3/4 thick. And I was feeding it in, and as I was feeding it in, it caught on the planer, and it shot it right back out.
Ooh.
And it hit me, and I really did think I really did think that my ring finger was broken on that finger. Like it hurt. It really it really hurt. And this,
Did you lay down on the ground like you did when you had to kick back and just lay there for a minute?
It wasn't as bad as the kickback, no,
No.
but I did have to go out to the truck to get the first aid kit because this thing was bleeding like nobody's
You don't
business.
have first aid kit in your shop?
I don't have it in the shop. It's in the truck right beside the shop. It's not in the shop, but
I'm gonna fuss at you like you fussed at me. Get one for your shop.
Touche. I have it. It's right there though, but I do have one. But yeah,
Yeah, I put one in my truck.
yeah. I mean, but yeah, it hurt, man. I mean, so I don't know what caused that though. I mean, I don't know if it just just caught that blade just right, as it was going through, and it just didn't like it. I don't know if I had it set too low for the thickness of the board, or what I actually think I had. I actually maybe think I had it too high
Bingo. Ding, 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 ding,
Yeah,
ding, ding,
no, I
ding.
mean, the more I think about it, I think I had it too high, and it was able to kind of bounce as it went
Hey,
in there,
easy
and
with
it's
that one.
yeah,
Easy,
Whee!
easy with that gesture.
But the board bounced. How do I do that in a manly way?
I don't know.
The board bounced as it went in, and
Yeah,
I guess and it hit the blade and it just threw it out.
yep. Most of the time, if you're a little high on the planer, the infeed roller won't support it. It won't hold it.
Yeah,
And so you can kind of sneak under that infeed roller, and probably one of the knives came around and hit the end of it and
yeah.
said, phew, rejected.
It did not like it at all.
Do you
It did
know that a
not.
planer will send a piece of wood out exactly the same speed as the knives are rotating?
I believe that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Pretty
This
quick.
this little finger said yes. I can tell you that.
Well, I won't tell you when you shot me the bird in the text message. I'm not going to bring that up. I'm not even going to bring it up. I'm not going to bring it up.
Well, let's bring it up because I don't remember what it was about. Hold on, let me look.
You had a kickback, and I thought it was on the new thing that you purchased, and I was like, well, given your track record, I think you need to use the
Yeah.
sled. And
So, so I went. Oh my goodness. So I'm on. I'm always on Marketplace. Drives my wife nuts, but I'm always on Marketplace. There's a dual drum sander on there that I really, really want to go buy. But I got to move shops. We'll talk about that in a second. But I got to move shops, so I need to get through that hurdle. But anyway, so I've had a couple of kickback incidents, and they're my fault, no, for sure. And I'm stupid, so I go back and redo them again. It's not like I do something different. I go back and do them again. So, but this guy had a Excalibur slider on Marketplace for sale. I think he wanted like $550 for it. I think he started at $650, maybe. I don't remember. And but it's like an hour and 10 minutes from me, one way. And I was like, dude, look, I know this is not your problem, but you're quite a ways from me. This has been posted for a while. You got some room on your price? He said, I do. So I arranged my schedule. I met him at his house at 6:30 in the morning.
ooh, ow.
Because I needed to make a round trip back to get some materials to get back down in time to actually do some work. But so I have the slider, but I am, as I kind of mentioned, I'm fixing to move shops. So when I got back, I realized I'm going to have to drill and tap on the side of my Grizzly because I don't have any holes on the left side for this slider to mount to. So I'm going to have to drill and tap to be able to mount this up, and it's just not something I want to tackle right now. And with the project that I just wrapped up, and I'll tell you about that in a second, I just had too much going on to fool with it. So I put it in the corner. I'll move. I'll set it up when I move, and then I got this shady cut to do, and I sent you a picture of the results. I mean, right at the end. I mean, it was right at the end. So it was an 8-foot stretch of ply, nice ash plywood.
Ooh.
Of course, I needed like 30 inches off of it, so that left the tail. And I mean, right at the end, I don't know what happened. I thought I was good. That's probably what happened. Is I thought I was good.
Yeah.
And it just right at the end, it grabbed that little short piece, and I happened to be just to the side enough that it threw it right by me. I mean, never hit me, never touched me. And I looked down and I said, I have escaped death again. And and it almost come back to bite me in the butt that I didn't have any spare material. Like I barely was able to squeak out that piece again on out of the scrappage, out of the remnants of it, But yeah, so I'm looking forward to this slider. I think, for me, you and I talked about the way we process materials, and you're like, you said, you kind of don't find it very beneficial as far as like processing a job. But I think that the way I process a job, because my jobs are so much smaller, I think that I will. Because like I try to go through, let's just say I'm doing cabinets, and I'll try to cut all my so 24s, so 23 and a quarters. I'll try to cut all my 23 and a quarters at a time because I don't want to move the saw. And then I'll come back through and cut all my 11 and a quarters. you know,
Yeah.
and get them all done. And then I come back through the stack and do all my cross cuts. But my stacks are so much smaller than yours. I mean, I understand what you're saying. I mean, if you're getting ready to process 60 sheets for a job, what's an average job for you? How many sheets?
Yeah, about average 60 to 70 sheets. Yeah, job.
Yeah, I mean, I just did one that was like 20. I mean, the trophy cases was 22 sheets, and that's probably one of the biggest jobs that I've done.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's significantly different, but
Yeah, as
but
long
yeah,
as I felt good knowing that you knew that you couldn't lay a 8 foot piece down on there, back it all the way up,
yeah,
and rip it.
yeah.
I
No, I
felt
knew
like
I couldn't do it for a long
yeah,
rip. I just
yep,
want it for cross cuts, like especially wonky cross cuts, because look, I have a degree of clumsiness just built into me. I inherited it. It is what it is. I've tried to grow to accept it. So now it's how do I mitigate the clumsiness to protect myself from myself,
Oh man, cross cutting that thing is going to be once you get it set up,
Yeah.
dialed in, dude. It's going to be a drink. I love using mine when I can use it.
Yeah.
I just can't use it to break down sheet goods.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. No, I'm good. I mean, because, and I don't know how I think about it all the time. I'm like, I bet if somebody watched me process a sheet of plywood, they think I'm some kind of sissy and I'm doing this the wrong way because, I've got those rolling tables. So, I mean, I crank that table to table saw height. I tell you what I did to them the other night. It was really funny. But I crank that sucker to table saw height, and it's an infeed table for me.
yeah,
I'm not sitting there and holding a sheet of plywood when I got an adjustable table that'll do it for me.
right,
And
yep,
then I get done. I mean, I roll the table out of the way. I don't need it anymore,
yep.
But I'm just not going to sit there and feed in sheet after sheet of plywood and hold it and steer it when I got a table that'll do it for me. I probably somebody would make fun of me for it, but
I won't, because buddy, you saving your back and your arms and your legs, and it's safer that way, man. You sit there and get to fumbling with a piece on the saw, man. Next thing you know, that joker gets loose.
yeah.
No, don't take no chances.
And I'll tell you another thing. So those adjustable tables, I got a little treat the other night, and I'm trying to get there, but I ended up at the shop very, very late. I guess it was about 10:30, and I get a text messages from my wife says, "I'm here. Just didn't want to scare you. I'm about to walk in." I was like, "Okay." So she walks
Oh,
in. Still scares me though. I don't know how. I don't think that I expected to be that fast. Like
yeah.
I think she was standing outside of the door when she
Mm-hmm.
texted, and
She's
like
probably watching
literally,
you for like an hour.
yeah. I mean, it probably did. I had the big door open, so she probably was like, "Ooh, he's running machines. I probably should like," but still scared me. But anyway, showed up, brought me dinner.
Ooh,
Yeah, I mean, I needed it. I was out of gas. I needed some dinner,
I need to
and
know what
then
she brought you.
poppy seed chicken.
Ooh,
Yep,
okay.
and she does it right. Now she'll have me at some point in the week. She'll have me grill the chicken. At some point in time, she'll save it,
Hmm.
and then she does the poppy seed chicken with grilled chicken. She ain't baking no chicken or
Don't bait no
skillet in.
bird, man. You can't
Yeah,
bait no bird.
with some shoot, what are those beans? They
Mississippi
make
cream 40s,
nah, I don't know what the heck that is,
purple
but
hulls,
they
red
make oh,
hulls,
shut up. They make they make a dip out of it, which I hate the dip.
chiro beans,
No,
black beans.
no, they're chickpeas. Chickpeas.
Oh, chickpeas.
With chickpeas, and I love chickpeas. Like, I mean, I think they're a good hearty, but so I mean, it was a super simple meal.
I bet it was
And
good too,
so
wasn't it?
she
Wasn't it
pulls it
good?
out. Oh, yeah, it was so good. But she
Oh
pulls it
yeah.
out for me and a couple of bottles of water. I'm like, oh, thank you so much, babe. I
Oh
really
man.
appreciate it. And then she pulls out a second plate. I'm like, you're eating with me? She's like, yeah, I thought we'd eat together. I was like,
Hey.
well, hell, hold on a second. So
Oh, well,
I get the air hose out. I clean off my arm, clean off as much as I can. So I wipe the table down. I wipe one of the tables down. I raise it all the way up, and she's kind of setting it up. I said, hold on a second. I got something for you. So I take my other adjustable table and I lower it all the way down.
uh-uh.
Ah, put them together, and all of a sudden now we've got a little picnic.
Little
We're sitting on
picnic
one,
table.
eating on the other.
Hey,
I
that's
said, boy, we
romantic, ain't it?
sure have eaten a lot of weird meals and a lot of weird places together. Because I think the night before or 2 nights before that, we were sitting on the floor in the high school working on a trophy case, eating some Burger King together.
Yeah.
Because Saturday, I worked my wife like a grown man. I'm telling you, I was super impressed by her. But it was time to load trophy cases in. I need to get them installed, and there was a couple things I needed help with, and I was like, "Hey, I'm sorry to do this to you, but I need a hand." And she was right there with me every step of the way. Um, One of my most supportive, I mean, not one of the most supportive person in my life for sure.
Yeah.
Um, couldn't imagine, but yeah, I mean, we're loading in. So I had all the boxes built, but the backs of the boxes were actually um, son of a biscuit. Oh, I can't think of anything right now.
You talking about beaded plywood
Slat
or
wall. No, it was slat wall.
slat wall?
Yep. So I had to pre-paint all the slat walls, and then we slid them. So when we got on site, I slid them all in. So we're sliding all these backs in, then got to put them on top of the little base, and then so it was one set of cabinets, basically cabinets on top of the base, and then another set of cabinets on top of that. So to go
Mm-hmm.
up to about, we're about 6.5 foot tall total. Um, but now she couldn't really, her back's not great anymore, so she couldn't really help me like get it up all the way, but she was helping me spin it around, and I would kind of like lean it up against the top, and then I would get the other half and walk it around. She just was there to help make sure it didn't fall off or anything.
Yeah.
But, I mean, but I worked her like a grown man. I couldn't have set them by myself. There's just no way.
Right.
But I got them all set. But anyway,
Who
so
was that? Who was that in the picture? Was that like the principal or something?
no, so that was he is with the finisher. He's one of the finisher's sidekicks. So he was
Mm.
starting to prep. At that point in time, they showed up so quick on me, I couldn't get a picture of. By the time I finished and cleaned up, they were on site. Like
Yeah.
I never got a chance to get a picture without anybody in it. To
They trying to hurry up and get that government money, man. The government.
they got some Travis money is what they got. They got a check from Simplify today.
Right.
But they were on site. But yeah, so the trophy cases are finally in, and they are being prepped and should be finished tomorrow. Actual finish being put on them. I'll get the doors back from them when we come back from vacation. Go get the glass put on them. Get them mounted up, and then got a little bit of work still. Got to get the LEDs mounted in the cabinets and get the glass shelves in, and then we should be ready to rock and roll. But they just a few challenges, man. Just really just space. And I mean, it was just so big. I mean, we're 33 feet of cabinets. Let's keep that in
Mm-hmm.
mind. Um,
Yeah.
Big old boxes, got some 45s in it, and then I did a little mathematical error. I'm not gonna lie. So that's kind of what kind of jumped us. Go to put the door up and realize that the doors are tip to top, right? I mean, they
Oh.
are from the bottom to the top, and which that leaves us nowhere to mount crown to. And they really needed the crown to kind of just that it just
Yeah.
needed it.
Yeah.
So that's what kind of resulted to today, which we should have left today to go to Virginia to my buddy's promotion ceremony. I'm super upset with myself that I just didn't get done in time, so we didn't make the ceremony. Um, it seems like in hindsight that that's going to work out because he's super busy on the back end with like he basically gets promoted, closes on a house, and then moves to another duty station like
Mm-hmm.
in 24 hours.
Oh wow.
So there wouldn't have been a whole lot of hangout time, and then it would have been like an 18-hour drive from there to the beach. So it seems like it worked itself out. Just I really wanted to be there. It's just one of those. It's just one of those things I wanted to be there for him. But so I had to come up with an alternative solution for the crown overnight. So I ended up basically stripping the entire top
Yeah.
with a board to mount the crown to, got it up, and nobody will ever be the wiser. Looks great. It's solid. It's there. Got it all
How about
caulked in
that
and
old
sanded.
sinking feeling, man, when you realize what done happened?
Um, so with me, I like to throw things, and it took everything I had not to throw a door down the hallway of this school.
Or a kid?
when I realized that I had two options. I mean, and at first, my said I got to remake every one of these doors because it had to go there because the center, the center stile or the center rail on the door also covers the center, the shelf in the middle of the cabinet, you
Yeah.
know? So if that rail is not in the right place, then you're going to see the rail inside the cabinet and then it's just going to look stupid. So it had to mount that way. There was
Right.
no way around it, Um, so it was this moment of I'm going to have to remake all 16 doors. And I had already gone through the challenge the night before. So I don't know I think it was a bad glue job, to be honest with you. And I think it was a good enough glue job that if it had been panel doors, I don't think I'd ever noticed. But because they were glass doors, so rabbited the doors as I normally would, or dadoed, I guess, dadoed the doors. I guess it's more of a dado, right? When you're doing cope and stick. So did that, put the doors together. They set. So then I knew I had to rabbit the edge for the glass to inset in, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I go to Woodcraft, my least favorite store in America. I don't know if anybody saw my post last week.
I didn't even see it.
Yeah. Well, basically, I'm in there and there's 5 employees in there. I am the only person in the store and I can't get any help. The manager finally walks by and I was like, hey, can I get somebody to open these for me? And she goes, oh, I'm sorry, we didn't get to you. We're shorthanded. And I could not help it.
No,
Could not
really?
help it. I look around and I said, well, I'm the only one in here. I am
What
literally,
are y'all doing?
you know what time they open up? 9. You know what time I was in the store? 9:05. Like,
Oh,
I'm like, and I couldn't help it. I said, I'm literally the only one in here. Maybe if you weren't walking your dog around here in the store, maybe you would tend to the customers,
yeah.
but whatever. So I made a dirty post and I did get a reply back from the actual manager that said, apologize. And I said, well, you should, and I said, well, everybody was busy. I said, well, you should review your security camera tape, but irregardless.
Irregardless.
So I bought it because I needed a rabbiting bit, and I knew I was going to have to. From previous experience, I knew I was going to have to run that bit in several different passes,
Yeah.
taking it off incrementally because it will blow out. And
You
let me
ain't
tell you,
lying.
it will blow that poplar out in a heartbeat, and it still did it doing it in incremental passes, and it made me so flipping mad every time it would blow it out. So I ended up 3 passes. I mean, I did it in 3 passes to get to a half an inch rabbit all the way around.
Yeah.
But then when I go to do the corners, I blew, I think, 6 doors actually came apart while I was trying to chisel the round part to make it square. I had 6 doors come apart. So I think it was just not good glue job, which would have been fine if it had been a panel door. Not so great if you're sitting there beating on it, trying to cut
Yeah.
corners out, and they would just pop. And so super frustrating, so you got to re-glue, let it set, start over. So that just ate tons of time. And then the other really big challenge I ran into was my software, which I'm no longer on, thanks to you.
We'll see.
We're moving forward. Yeah, I need a
You're gonna hate
tutorial.
that crap, man. You're gonna hate it.
Thanks. $1,500 later, you're gonna hate it. But the software actually let me down in several ways and created several situations for me that I ended up actually having to face frame on site. And when you do that, you just never get the same finished product
Right.
product as you
Yep.
do when you get to make face frames as one complete unit and stick them on a cabinet. I'm sorry, it just doesn't come out as good. So lots of Bondo, lots of sanding, and then I had one brick cinder block on the wall that was protruding out. There was nothing I could do about it. That threw the entire thing off out of whack, and put so I'm happy with it. I'm happy with the way it ended. I'm not happy with it as a whole. It could have been better.
Yeah.
I really blame the software on part of it. But I'm one of those guys, and maybe you're different because like Derek is different. Like he can build a set of cabinets without really plans, so to speak. And I guess maybe I just don't have enough experience or whatnot. I need the plans. Like I need the cut list. I kind of need the instructions. I guess I'm still in the IKEA phase of cabinetry building. Like I still need the instructions. There were a couple of indicators in there that I should have caught as I was going through the process that I didn't. Like the dividers in one cabinet, for whatever reason, the partitions were just off from the other partitions, and I never noticed it for some reason.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. But little details like that most people will never ever notice. If you were to walk up to the cabinet, I would tell you please walk away from it and not examine it. Like,
I don't know.
if a cabinet guy, a cabinet guy walks up to him, like, please don't, please don't, look at this. And again, I'm happy. I'm just not excited. And what's really disappointing is because the last project I did, I was on a very super high, probably one of the best projects I'd ever done. And this one is very mediocre-ish in my mind, kind of almost back to like midways through building cabinets.
And it goes back to what we've talked about this before, man. It's like this job, it comes in, it does good, you install it, everything lines up, boom, you're out. Yes.
Yeah.
The next job, you got table saw issues, air compressor issues, door issues, partition issues, finish issues, brick issues. I mean, it is crazy how some of these jobs, man, it just seems like they're just plagued.
Yeah. But it's in, and, we're moving forward, looking forward to it being done, and, and we're going to go from there and see what happens.
Yeah. And let's see. I want to hear. Okay. Go ahead.
No, I was going to tell you, so don't ask me what changes constant means. I don't remember what that one is.
All right.
I think I might remember.
Look at this little trick. There you go. I want to hear Facebook attacks.
Facebook attacks. So, let me see if I can.
We still got time. We still got time.
Let me see if I can find the Facebook post. So, Carson got her Chick-fil-A uniform yesterday. And I made her model. I was like, let me see what you look like in it. So, worst hiring process I've ever been to. Just so you know, they can run a drive-through line, but their hiring process is incredibly terrible. It's been a month. She hasn't worked a day yet.
Really?
Yep.
Come on, Chick-fil-A. It's God's chicken, man. Y'all got to do better than that.
Yeah, it's really disappointing. It's really a result of, long story very short, is that they try to give some of the kids some responsibility that have been there for a little while, and the kid that was assigned to her is not ready for that responsibility, basically, in a nutshell. All right, so this is on the Ram Trucks page on Facebook, okay? 5th gen Rams. You can't be in there because you don't drive 5th gen.
Nope, I'm out of the group.
I technically can't be in there either because I drive a 2500, and if they knew that, they'd throw me out because 2500s can't be 5th gens. I don't know. Anyway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right, so this is for you guys that have trailers, golf carts, et cetera, I've designed an AirTag mount that's built for all sorts of platforms. It's 3D printed from AB Plastic. It's got neodymium magnets, custom made to my specs for this brand. Gives you the ability to hide the AirTag in a discreet location, easy mounting. If you need one, let me know. I can get them shipped out to you quickly. So are you familiar with an AirTag?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I'm familiar with an AirTag. So I'm like, look at this dude. This dude's hustling, right? He's got a couple of his, oh, shoot.
Hey, what was that? Go back. Wait.
Oh, that's Brooks trying to eat a piece of pizza tonight. So he's hustling, and he's got, geez, how many pictures of her in that uniform did I take? He's got, pictures of the product. He's got pictures of it, without a AirTag in it. This guy's just trying to do his thing, right? Trying to make a few bucks, trying to offer a product to people that they might be looking for. And this guy just jumps on him, and he goes, of course, he starts with, almost the same phrase. I don't mean to offend you, but.
Oh, yeah. Here it comes.
But I'm fixing to offend you. He goes, not to knock you, but. It starts out, look how long this is. Not to knock you, but here's a paragraph long. I can't get it to come through.
Nope.
Here's a paragraph long statement. It says, There are over 600 free AirTag files on basic sites. This one I posted is much more discreet. I like it better. Playing off custom built, this seems like BS. What you should be marketing is your ability to print these for people because that's something you can sell. Talking about how you have custom round neodymium magnets, it would literally be the dumbest thing you could do when you can hop on Amazon and buy some magnets and print around them. So what's the truth? You're dumb enough to spend money on custom magnets when you could Amazon them the same day, print a holder. Oh, there's more. Oh, I didn't take a picture of the entire thing. Or did you see the idea with a something, something, something? So this guy just attacks this dude for, and he replies. He's like, so I looked on Amazon. The Amazon magnets that were available didn't have the holding power that I wanted for this product. So I went and searched out these different neodymium magnets which had more, I don't know how you measure a magnet, but more, holding power.
Yeah.
So that, you wouldn't lose your AirTag, you wouldn't lose your device. And I printed around that. And yeah, I kind of made my own design for the AirTag holder. Yeah, there are others out there, but this one is mine.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, so I responded to the guy. I was like, I don't even need a damn AirTag holder, but I'm going to buy one from you.
Yeah. Give me one.
I was like, how much are they? He said, $26. I said, here you go. Take my $26. I'll slap one on the bottom of the trailer. Like,
ain't lying.
just because I just did it to publicly bash this other guy. I was like, why are you attacking this dude? He's not posting any false information. He's not, selling, a faulty item. It is custom. It's his item, and as he said, he's like, I'm printing it with ABS plastic, which is a higher grade printed plastic. These other guys are probably just printing it with, I don't know the different grades of printable plastic, but a lower grade. He's like, which, the sun is going to deteriorate, the weather, cold, heat, whatever, but I was like, why do people feel the need to see a guy trying to do a little side deal, trying to do a little better, trying to get a better slice of the pie and feel the need to just bash him, man? Yeah. It made me so frustrated, just sad at the same time. Like, I was like, this is just sad. Why can't you just support this guy? Like,
yeah, or not
just
say
not say
anything. Yeah.
Hey, thank you. I mean, you couldn't have took the words out of my mouth at a better point in time. I mean, just move past it. It didn't hurt. It's not hurting you. Now, if he's, you bought one of these and it doesn't hold, or, whatever. Okay, call him out. Don't let people buy a bad product. I'm for sure. But I just didn't understand it.
That stuff gets my goat, man, because I'm like, why do you even feel the need to come on here and say something, just be, and we see stuff all the time, man. He does. We see stuff on there. I see stuff in the cabinet pages. One dude got on there, man, and he was like, hey, look at these cabinets I've done and this and that and all this. And he wasn't bragging. He was just saying, hey, look, the overlays on the doors, it really bothered me, man. Like, I mean, it was horrible. It was super wide gaps everywhere. It was different gap here, different gap there. And I was just like, whoop. I went right on down. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, I'm not fixing to get on here. If you message me privately and you're like, hey, man, I see you posting here. What do you think? I'm like, dude, you got to do something with these overlays.
Yeah.
Like, you got to fix these gaps, man. And I wouldn't even say it that mean. I'd be like, hey, here's what I think. But yeah, to get on there publicly and that dude is probably insecure. He probably don't have a 3D printer. He's probably jealous this other dude can just go make something,
Well, have you ever considered the fact that your lack of comment alone can be, I don't like your product, or I don't like your post?
Yep.
Like, I mean, I just wonder, like, if I look at a group and there are 5,000 people in there, and I post a picture and I get 1,500 comments, not likes, comments, can I assume? I would probably assume that probably another 1,000 of them are non-commenters. Regardless, they're just here to see. and that maybe the rest of them didn't like what I posted. Whether
Yep.
they didn't like what I posted or they didn't like my work. Either way, they just didn't care for the post in some way. I can see that matrix. Like if I look at how many people are in here versus how many commented versus so my non-comment is saying something in my mind. It's saying
Yeah.
something on its own.
Yeah. I've got a guy in one of the big Facebook groups, and I try to see I'm trying to see if he's going to comment on something I post.
Really,
Like every now and then he'll comment, but on most of it, everybody else is we're yucking it up in the comments. He won't say anything, and I'm like, why? Why is he? You know what I mean? Like you notice it.
yeah,
Somebody like that, you go on there and they don't say anything. I'm like, dude, I know you saw this. This is all you do is get on this post every day. You
Yeah.
know? So now I'm like, okay. And so now I'm trying different things to see what he'll comment on, what he won't. So we'll see. But also with him, if he sees somebody else post something and somebody do that in the comments, somebody troll him in the comments, dude, he's right there. He's like, how did your comment help this guy? Your comment has your comment has nothing to do with the post. It's not helping. It's totally unrelated, So
Yeah.
he gets a lot of people's backs on there. It's just, he's gonna comment on one of mine. Coming after you, buddy.
So is he negative and positive, or is he
No, he's always positive. He either don't
Okay.
comment or he comments something positive.
okay?
So I'm
okay.
thinking he doesn't, for whatever reason, man.
he
I
doesn't
need
like
his
your work.
Yeah, like I need his approval.
So you're
And this-
assuming his lack of comment is a disapproval.
That's right.
Okay.
I'm assuming that, and this isn't. It's in one of the cabinet pages, but it's not cabinetry. This is
So
in
what
the
I'm
group.
saying is not crazy, right?
That's
you're,
right.
You're assuming this same thing I'm saying. You're assuming that this could be a possibility that's happening to you.
Yep.
Okay. I just want
Maybe
to
he's just not interested in what I post, but I'm
Maybe.
kind of offended. I'm
Well,
gonna call him out on it one day.
so I guess the other big thing. Oh, so
Big thing. You ain't hit the big thing.
what big thing?
You've brought it up a couple times, but I don't think you've.
The move?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was fixing to go to. Well,
Yeah.
Let me hit this other thing because you will find this hilarious. Although I didn't find it hilarious. Never trust a customer.
Yeah.
Okay. So we took this job on. It's an hour and a half one way from here.
Ooh.
Relatively small project. I was like, we don't do projects without going to measure. He's like, I know, but it's relatively simple. She sent us the measurements. This is what we need. And this is what we're going to do. I was like, okay, you're paying me. I'll do it. So this is the one. Did I send you the one with the radon pipe in it?
Nope.
Okay. So it had a radon pipe in the in the build that we had to work around. So how much? Here it comes.
Hang on, folks. He's getting it.
Yeah, sorry about that. So he had some kind of wacky plan. He wanted me to like build a notch or something in the base. So I basically just didn't put a left-hand wall in the cabinet. Built a frame and a back and a top, and we went right over the frame, right over this radon pipe.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so we get there, first of all. So it's two big cabinets, which you should be getting. And so it went left and right, and then basically like a dresser, a 4-drawer center that went in between them. So we get there, and we pull the first cabinet in and realize we've got to go down in the basement. And we can't get this cabinet. It will not turn and pivot to go down the stairs through this doorway. Yeah. So we're fighting it, and we're like, this ain't happening. So finally I realized, well, if we come to this end of the hall, we basically stood it up and then put it on a dolly and rolled it standing up sideways down the hall, put a blanket on it, and let the blanket ride the wall down as we shifted it in.
Yeah.
And we were able to slide it down the stairs. So that was obstacle one figured out, but we had to do that twice because both those left and right cabinets are the same size. Well, so we get the first one in and we walk it downstairs. I was like, man, I thought to myself, this room looks small.
Huh.
But I didn't really think a whole lot about it. So then we get the second cabinet in and we kind of set it in its place. And you see the gap in between those two cabinets.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the dresser is proportional to those first two cabinets.
You mean the same width?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
It should be a third, and a third. And
Nope.
as you can see, there is not a third in between them two once they go into place, right?
Golly.
So what had happened was the wall that those are on, she originally wanted to do something on the wall directly behind those. Okay. She realized there were already some built-ins on that other wall. It's like, this is just going to be like a wall of cabinets. I don't want to do anything else on this wall. I'm going to go to this wall. Well, this wall, the one that we put those cabinets on, has a bump out in it. It's shorter than the wall behind it, and she didn't pay a lick of attention to it.
Mm.
You
Come
talking
on.
about, yeah. You talking about an awkward conversation? Hey, I'm Mrs. Customer. I apologize, but you did not send us the accurate measurements for this wall. Not only can we not finish this job, but if you want us to finish this job, you're going to have to pay for the time and materials for a second cabinet to be built again. Plus a trip charge for us coming back another hour and a half each way to deliver it and set it up.
What about the cabinet that you did build that's way too wide?
I got a fine cabinet in the shop. I mean, there's no salvaging it, you know.
No, there's no remaking.
I mean, there was no salvaging it, no nothing, you know. I mean, she was like, "It's my fault, you know." I didn't realize that the wall is shorter over there. I mean, 18 inches shorter. Yep.
Ooh, boy.
Now, all I can say now is my plan as far as covering that radon pipe, that was perfect. Looked great. I mean, couldn't have planned that out any better.
So I got more questions about the radon pipe.
Okay.
What is it?
What is radon pipe?
And why is it?
Okay. So limestone, which in Tennessee has a ton of limestone, puts off a gas called radon. It is highly carcinogenic, and it will build up in crawl spaces underneath the house. So a lot of houses, my house has one, has it's like a toilet vent, essentially. It's basically a pipe that's hooked to a fan. The fan blows 24/7, and it just moves air out of the crawl space and out the top of your house. It just keeps the air from being stagnant in the crawl space.
So y'all just living in radon land.
Yeah, I never heard of it before. When we sold our last house, the people who were buying our house wanted to do a radon test, and I was like, which I thought was super sketchy because you know who also puts in radon fans? The people who radon test.
Yeah.
I was like, So when we bought this house, the realtor was like, "Do you want to do a radon test?" And I was like, "Nah, that sounds like a scam. I don't want to do that." And they're like, "Wait." Well, let me tell you a story, and it is a highly carcinogenic. It can build up because we're all on everything's on crawl spaces. There's no slabs, but it has something to do with the limestone. And it releases it, and it can build up.
That is weird.
Now that one in particular, I have never seen one. It's got some kind of monitor on it. I don't know if you can zoom. If you zoom that picture,
Yeah, it's
in,
like a
thermometer-ish looking.
Yeah.
I've never seen one with a monitor on it. I don't know what that's about. I don't know how that.
You know
works.
what that is? I can tell you what that is. That is a. I'm gonna screw it up. It's almost like a hot hydrometer.
Almost, yeah.
But it's measuring the pressure differential in the pipe and ambient pressure. So basically,
I wonder if it's just telling her if it's blowing for air.
That's it. It's telling it if it's blowing out, if it's pressurizing the air enough to evacuate it.
Oh, okay.
Because I've seen those. That's the only reason I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But that
makes sense.
That's the fluid level is probably in like inches of mercury or something.
Right.
You know, kind of like a. But anyway, I bet you that's what that is.
Yeah.
Tells her that the pipe is slightly pressurized.
Yeah, but she wanted to be able to see that monitor, so that was what we did. But I mean, I didn't want to do like I didn't want to do a door on it and then a door on the other. I was like, that's
Right,
gonna look funny.
right.
Let's just put it inside there, and then I wasn't 100%. And it was so funny is that I didn't want to trust her measurements for how far that radon pipe was off the wall, so that's why I built it like I did with no
Yeah,
bottom in it.
yeah.
And then we come up and show up. I'm like, well, I guess I was right. She can't use a tape measure. She doesn't know the wall is not.
What if you accidentally punched a hole in that pipe, man? It's just blowing radon all out in your face.
Well,
Eyeball falls out or something.
I don't think it works that way.
Mm.
It's just kind of. It's just a gentle blow.
That
But
is
yeah.
good looking cabinets, though.
Well, thank you.
Did you make those doors?
I did. Big old doors, ain't they?
They are. At
Big
least you
old
put a
double doors.
horizontal divider in it like you were supposed to.
I did, and I put some big old rails and stiles on them to try to keep them square.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a lake house. Some people they don't live there. It's just a lake house. Very nice lake house. It
Well, they
really
didn't
was.
get all that money from measuring stuff, obviously.
No, they are not professional. I'll send you a picture with them closed. They're not professional measurers. Oh, and I'll send you this picture too. So I had Taylor make this for me the day that you might have saw it posted on social media. So that same day, Derek's dad was in the U.S. from Ireland, and he went with us on the install. And boy, you talking about needing subtitles for the day? I was struggling. He said something one time, and I laughed. I said, "Yes, sir." And Derek looked at me and goes, "You have no idea what he said, do you?" I said, "No, I don't. I'm sorry." you know. But I don't know if that came through to you. So I had Taylor the night before because I knew it was going to be a struggle. Like the Spanish to English dictionaries or the French to English dictionary. So I had her make this cover and just put it on a book, and it's the
Irish to Southern American
Irish to
dictionary.
Southern American dictionary. So it's so funny when he said that, and I was like, "Hey, say that again." And I reached over, I was like, "Let me grab my dictionary." He's like, "You're such an a-hole," He's like, "It's funny," and he thought it was a real book. Like he thought, like she did such a good. She drew that. Like, look at that cover. I mean, kid can
That's
draw.
amazing.
But yeah, he thought it was a real book. It's just some like old cop book that I had that I read. She just made a fake cover for it.
That's hilarious.
I got mileage out of that joke. It was so funny, when he got in there.
Yeah, I like those. I like those doors.
They came out good. But yeah, so
Is
let's
that
move.
Is that
What's
the
up?
full overlay?
Yeah, that's the
hinge?
full overlay. Yeah, the ones I called you about. Yep, sure is.
Dude, I'm telling you, I'm anal about overlays, man. You send me a picture of your overlay ain't right, I'm gonna call you out on it. Not on the podcast.
Yeah,
I'll do it privily.
yeah. Those come out good. I was proud of those. Now they're not full on the walls because I was not sure how an overlay hinge worked. Like, do they butterfly in and then come out, or do they actually fold right out? So I gave myself some extra on the walls.
Yeah,
but
that's a good call.
Because I wasn't sure. I'm not gonna lie. But all right, so let's go to the biggest news. Biggest news is I am officially moving shops. Yep. I don't want to clap too loud because it's going to be a ton of work.
July 15th, man, I don't know what, something about that day just sticking out. I got a lot of stuff to do that day or something.
Well, I am telling you, that is a real deal official invitation. Whatever you need to eat, wherever you need to sleep well that night, I will even cover your tobacco cost for that weekend.
Wow, dang.
I mean, whatever it takes, I am there because I got to get that shop because there is one 220 outlet in that entire shop. And I got to get that sucker wired that week so I can move in the next weekend.
Is it close to the city that you live in that's got two names in it?
It's close.
Okay.
Yeah. A little further south, about 25 minutes from the house.
Because I am from your city, I'm only 4 hours and 19 minutes away.
Yeah.
So that'll put that at 4 hours. That ain't too bad.
No.
Day trip.
Day trip.
Yeah, let's
I
see
got
what
you
we
a
can do.
room. Bring mama up. We'll take her shopping or something. I mean, I will throw some steaks on the grill that night. I mean, I think we can do it in a day. I mean,
I'm not going to ruin the trip by bringing her. What are you talking about?
Hey, look,
It's gonna be boys' night out, man.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Bring it on. But
I can say that
is,
because she don't listen, so I can say it.
but that you said that, but she commented not too long ago on something. She from time to time apparently listens.
I'll take my chances.
Okay, that's fine. But no, that is a real deal, legitimate invite. So what we're talking about, since we're just on talk admin,
We just took right off,
on the
didn't we?
podcast like we're on the phone. So I am moving shops, so I got an opportunity to move to a shop. It's a little bit nicer. It doesn't have a hobby farm associated with it, so I shouldn't have any sheep walking in on my shop with me. I don't have any fecal matter in the roof. It has some insulation in it. It has pavement around the shop, and it doesn't have a death-defying curve as I'm pulling out of the shop driveway with dump trucks screaming down at 65 miles an hour. I almost died this morning. I literally. So I'm gonna take if you I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you what it's like. So I pull to the drive to the right hand side. It's coming right out of a curve, right, and the trees and all are built up. You can't see. It's one of those roll down the window.
Oh yeah, listen. Stop.
I
looking,
think it's
listen.
clear. Yes. So, but what I do is I make sure the left lane come in the opposite direction. So I'm usually turning to the left. I don't turning to the right's a no go. Don't really go that direction. So I'm usually turning to the left. But because that is so bad coming from my right, I will make sure that the left lane is clear as well, so that if I pull out and something's coming, I can just stay in the left lane.
Oh yeah, you got a turning lane. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll hammer down. I'll stay in the wrong side of the road and just hammer down as best as I can, over there. So if it's got to go by me or it catches up to me, it's fine. But trust me, I'm hammering it on that left lane. But it's gravel, so as I'm coming out, even if I think I'm clear, if I got a heavy load, I'm spinning coming out of that gravel, so I'm losing time there. It's just bad. But this other place, just a little bit nicer, and then it's got some additional square footage. There's another like 500 square feet that I can pick up down the road if I want to, that's associated with it. So my plan is if I want to do finishing inside there, I'm going to make that the finishing room. So I'll go out the bay door, go around. That's the only thing I don't love about it, is to get to what would be the finishing room is I got to go outside. Because now there is a man door, but I couldn't, you couldn't get anything big through it.
Right.
So you would go outside, back in through a garage door into the finishing room, quote unquote. But I don't have to pick that up right now. I don't have to pay for that additional square footage right now. But he's letting me in a week early to get electrical set and to kind of start planning the layout and then move in. So he's kind of giving me a free week to get everything set up because the power is there's no power in place. So
you mean power that you can use?
That I can, usable. Yeah, there's some 110s kind of sporadically, but there's
how soon can you get me a picture of the breaker box?
I could probably have him send me one anytime.
If you go back over there or whatever, just kind of shoot me a picture.
What are you looking for?
Space, see how many we got, see how many breakers we got.
There's probably 20 slots. There's more slots than.
And I think in that situation, depending on kind of how the walls are and the ceiling and the attic and all that, it may be just as easy to run a conduit in there.
Yeah, I don't know that we'll have to run any conduit.
Yeah,
I think we can just run wire. But yeah, I'll send you that, and then I've got another kind of shaky 220 to 110 conversion question that I'll ask you offline because I don't want to get any kind of
legal
I don't want to get kind of electrical slack on the line, but because I'm thinking about doing some automated blast gates.
Mm-hmm.
And they require their own power, not 220.
Yeah, it's 120. Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm super stoked about it. There's a lot of advantages about it. I may or may not be losing my dumpster. That's the only thing that's questionable. because kind of coming in this place, you kind of go around a corner and it's a little tight. I don't know if the dump truck can make it through there to get to it. So, but the gains outweigh that. If I lose my dumpster service, I'll figure that out. Um, but I do get a wood burning stove versus a pellet stove this time for heat, so I can use scrappage and not have to buy. And then so that's something I kind of want you to school me on when winter comes, as far as like what kind of fire do you keep in there like overnight? Because that was
Mm-hmm.
one thing with the pellet stove. The pellet stove was so inefficient. Um, and with the insulation and all, if I kept the pellet stove on overnight, I would come back in, it would be empty.
Right.
It would burn two and a half bags of pellets overnight
Oh,
because there was nothing to retain any heat. I mean, it just all went out. So I was almost starting from ground zero every morning, you
yeah.
know. And
Oh,
but I am going to move my electric heater that I bought. I'm going to move it as well. I
yeah.
mean, it's not staying in the shop.
Yeah. Dude, a real wood stove is, man, it's a
Yeah.
game changer, buddy.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like it's got the blower and all with it, you know. I mean, it's a pretty big unit. But and I'm good with see, my thing is I'm good with the electrical. Like I can run all the wires and all. I don't want to be in the. I'm not comfortable in the box. Like I'm just
Mm-hmm.
not comfortable in the breaker panel.
Yep. And
And
that's a good thing. Don't be.
yeah, I think it's just one of those things that like if you're not comfortable, you shouldn't be in there. You
Right.
know, and just I mean, and I could probably kill the power to the building itself, or you know, but it is metered on its own. So I think the only way to kill the power to the building would be to pull the meter. I don't think I can actually. I don't think there's a disconnect outside.
You should have a main breaker right under the meter, right beside the meter, something in that big panel.
Yeah,
You should have a top main
outside.
breaker. Yeah, some of them are outside, some of them are inside. Just
Uh,
kind of depends on what they did, but yeah.
I mean, that would make me feel somewhat more comfortable, but it
But
just
even if you
big power scares me.
if you turn that top breaker off, everything above that top breaker is
Right, it's
still
still hot.
energized, and you got wires, and you bump one, you swatting at a bee or something, and knock
Yeah,
wires in there, and it can be
yeah.
yeah.
And I don't want to do it right. Like I told this guy too. I was like, hey, you know, it's kind of part of, you know, me moving in and I got to run this power, like whatever power I put in. And I told the guy that I'm leaving, like whatever power I'm leaving, you know, I mean, I'm not going to come pull wires and I'm not going to pull boxes and outlets, you know,
Yeah.
um, but I got to there's a local electrical distributor I'm going to go to and talk to them about getting some materials and everything. I'm not, you know, we're not going to do the Home Depot, Lowe's on this
Yeah.
thing. I mean, geez, you know, but
Yeah.
we're
Price them
going
out and
local.
see.
We're going local supply house for sure.
Yep.
You know, but yeah, but that's a legitimate offer. Like, or and I don't know if it's an offer, or an ask, or a request, or a beg, but all the above. But yeah,
July 15th, I should be able to make
but yeah, that's just the weekend,
some port.
and we can do it. That's just the first day that I get access to the building. My lease starts on the 22nd. So I just wanted a week so that should I end up like by myself, you
Mm-hmm.
know, I can pull wires and get everything, and then I can have time to slowly work in the box methodically. I mean, I will work in the box, but I don't want to work in the box.
Yeah.
Um, you know, but yeah, so I mean, if you can, I mean, that'd be awesome, you know, and we'll figure it out. But yeah,
I'll do it. Dude, I'll come up there and do that for one Mexican meal.
and some gas.
I don't even charge gas, probably.
Oh, that comes with the Mexican meal.
Yeah. But I'm taking over 2,500. I can tell you that. I'm driving her all the way up there.
The ramp, the Dodge?
Mm-hmm.
Well, sure.
Well, we have one that's actually good on gas.
Oh, I
I'm not
gotcha.
taking that.
Gotcha. Yeah, do it. You gotta do an overnighter though. You can't do that and come back. Like,
Oh
that's
yeah,
not-
no, I'll spend the weekend up there.
Yeah.
We'll figure something out. Put
Yeah.
me down, man. Put me down. I'm calling it. Put me down.
All right, I'm putting it down.
I'm coming.
Right. If I tell Kim, you know what's going to happen. She's going to be mighty disappointed if you don't show up.
Quick as we get off, go tell her, hey, weekend of the 15th, I'll probably come up there. I'm definitely going to come up there on Friday.
Okay.
And then you'll have me Saturday and Sunday.
Okay. Because you know who told me to tell you happy birthday the other day, right?
Yeah, she left me a happy birthday on Facebook.
Yeah. She said, hey, today's Mitch's birthday. I said, how do you remember that? She goes, I don't know how I remember it. She's like, so she got home that night. She's like, literally, I was writing the date, doing her accounting thing, and she's like, I wrote the date and I said, 23rd. It's Mitch's birthday. She's like, so she instantly texts me. She's like, hey, it's Mitch's birthday today.
Well, tell her I appreciate her keeping up with that.
She's like, it's just there, like just all those years.
It's crazy.
But it's in my phone now, so I don't need her anymore. I locked you in.
Well, Trey got me this speakeasy door, and then I was like, I'm trying to remember. I was like, dude, you ain't gotta give me nothing for my birthday. He's like, I know. And I was like, did I get Trey?
Did we do something
for his birthday? Yeah, because it was in March, so if I missed it, I missed it. But I'm like, I got a lot going on, so I don't even know.
It happens, man. Like, I mean, her birthday is coming up.
Are you gonna let me forget it? When is it?
July the 3rd.
See, I was gonna say she's right there with Rachel.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I love going on vacation the week of her birthday. Let me tell you how much fun that is. It's my birthday week. It's expensive as hell.
You know what you're setting me up for right now, don't you?
What's that?
Because I don't think I've never sent her happy birthday on her birthday.
Nah, there you go.
So now you're going to have me, like, this has got to be every year now.
That's what happens, yeah.
All right, I'm down.
But, hey, you know what I've found over the years? And it's sad, but it's true. But it's also not sad at the same time. So it's sad in a way because I have learned that there are fewer people that I need to keep up with when their birthday is.
Yeah.
But the reason it's not sad is because the people that I've chosen to actually keep up with when their birthday is are like actually true people that I care to actually have in my life.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's diminished over the years of the people that I care to keep up with, but the people that I've cared to keep up with they're there for a reason. It's not just because I know who you are and I know, it's
not because Facebook told you it was their birthday.
Right. It's just more significant. I mean, if you get a happy birthday from me, you're more significant in my life. And I'm just saying. It's because there's only a few of you that I can keep up with.
Yeah.
I had a panic attack the other day because I really thought that I'd forgot my mom's birthday. And I told Kim, I was like, I forgot my mom. I think I forgot my. She's like, we had a whole conversation about this. You told your mom happy birthday. She was in the bed when you called her. And I was like, oh yeah, I did call and tell her happy birthday. I was like, I just can't remember that I did. I can't remember that I did something now.
Oh, me and Chris, we go at it every year at Mom's birthday.
Oh,
and he gets me because he's down there, and they both get up at 3 or 4 in the morning.
Gotcha.
So he takes her to Waffle House. She's like, well, oh yeah, here it is, 7 o'clock, and you're just now telling me happy birthday. I've already had breakfast. I was like, oh, whatever. I'm not getting up at 3. Sorry, you wouldn't do that for me,
no.
and I'm not going to do that for you. So y'all go eat your breakfast. Happy birthday, bye.
Well, I felt bad because I called her. So I called her, and it was 7 o'clock, right? Well, they're in Chattanooga-ish area, which is on Eastern time. So it was 8 o'clock.
Oh.
So I thought I was good, right? No, they were in Alabama at my sister's house. So it was 7 o'clock. So I woke her. I was like, what are you still doing in the bed? She's like, it's 7 o'clock here. I was like, I'm sorry. I forgot y'all were down there visiting with them.
Golly.
Oh.
I don't care what Mama says. We good. I'm good to my mama.
Right.
Me and Chris both good to her. She's always played this game like, well, Mitch is my favorite. Well, now Chris is my favorite. And inadvertently, now we're in this competition to see which one's her favorite. Yeah. And she's the winner goes to spoils, man. She's getting it from both of us now. I should have known she was up to something.
You know who really the favorite is?
It's really me, I think.
It's the grandchildren. It's not neither one
Oh,
of
yeah,
y'all.
you ain't lying about that.
It's neither one of you.
Golly. She loves some grandkids.
Right.
Well, I think we covered everything, dude.
I don't know how we did it. I don't know how we did it in the right time frame. But
I don't know either, man. It's because I'm so good at managing time.
it's true. So
Well,
what
let's
do you have
set up-
coming up this week?
Oh, dude.
What are you rolling? I know you're rolling on the big project.
Yep. And then one right behind that, one right behind that, one right behind that, one right behind that.
Gotcha.
Done, quoted, drawn. We rocking, buddy. It's about to be hot boy as summer because it is hot as a joker up in this daggum shop in the summertime, man.
Oh.
Golly, it's hot. But Trey's being a trooper, man. He's ready. Now, while all this stuff, while we're getting ready and we got a lull, we just kind of been taking it easy and, clean up a little bit, do this and do that. And I've been telling him, I was like, hey, when we hit this thing, dude, we're hitting it.
Let me ask you this. What do you have any like tricks that you do, whether they're legitimate or whether they're mind tricks to like stay cool in the shop? Because I've got one that I'm going to tell you that I do, but I'm just kind of curious. Like, do you have anything that you do to like stay cool in the shop?
No, not really tricks. We do have fans everywhere we're at. Mm-hmm. You're standing in the actual torrent of wind.
Yep.
And I think as long, here, you grew up here, right?
Yeah.
You get air moving, you're pretty much okay. It's hot air.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you get in front of a breeze and you let that stuff, and that sweat's evaporating off of your back and all this stuff.
Yep.
And it really helps. That, I've discovered sleeveless shirts do way more than I ever thought they did.
Gotcha.
But yeah, no little mind tricks or anything. That's pretty much all we can do.
So the guy that I rent my shop from, he come in the other day, and I've got a couple fans. Same thing. Like, I got fans moving air. He's like, aren't those just blowing hot air on you? Because they're kind of pulling. They're technically pulling from the ceiling and blowing down. I was like, well, one, I can't give up floor space for a fan. Like, I need the floor space. But yes, but air moving. I'm from the South, so air moving is a good thing. Whether it's hot air, whether it's cold air, air moving is a good thing. I said, but so my trick, and I don't know whether it's true or whether it's a mind game, is I've got, so at the other end of the shop up top is basically like a chicken house fan, like a giant exhaust fan. I will wait until I just about can't take the heat anymore, and then I'll go turn that on. And I don't know if it is legitimately changing the airflow in the building or if it is just a mental thing that I think that it is legitimately changing the airflow in the building.
Working, right?
But I turn that sucker on and I'm like, yeah, that's better.
Yeah, it's cooler.
I don't know which one it is, but I will wait. I never turn it on in the morning when I get there. But that is also the other thing is do not, if you got a hot shop, get in the shop and acclimate to it.
Yep.
Don't show up at the shop at 10, 11 o'clock. You'll die.
Yep.
I'm telling you, show up at the shop 7, 8 o'clock in the morning and move through the heat, and you won't notice it. You won't notice it.
I was thinking about that fan thing that you just said. My theory is I run mine when we get here, all fans, starting in probably May, all fans get turned on.
Yeah.
And I'm in a wind tunnel. Right, there's usually a breeze going all the way through the shop. Now, if you get outside of the middle section, right, left or right, then you're just in this stagnant air. That's when you got to have fans. But I turn the fans on first thing in the morning because the shop retains heat so well in the summertime. You'll come in here in the morning, it's 95 in here, and it's 75 outside.
Really?
So I use the cool outside air to bring down the temperature in the morning.
Gotcha.
And then they stay on, and it gradually heats up during the day. So every day, and in my mind, and I guess it's kind of a trick, and it may actually work. But I'm thinking,
you know what I'm saying, right? It's like, does it work or is it in my mind?
If we bring this cooler air in first thing in the morning, and kind of let everything reset, and then let it gradually heat up during the day. Let's be honest, man. Ain't no cabinet shop like 1 or 2 man cabinet shop, you can't condition 4,000 square feet. Not efficiently, not without dust all in it. It's just not,
Yeah.
it's not feasible, you know?
Then you get the exhaust off the dust collectors and
Yeah. I
that
mean, it's just,
heat.
there's too
And,
much going on.
Yeah. I mean, Kim showed up. I can't remember what day it was. She showed up at the shop and it was like middle of the day and she just kind of walked in. She's like, oh my God. She's like, how are you in here? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like,
Yeah, bad.
this is my exercise. This is my gym time. What are you talking
Yeah.
about? Like, I
Yeah.
mean,
And,
if you acclimate, it's not that bad. I mean, it's just not that bad, But
yeah.
but I was like, what can I do like mentally? Like, I always just kind of wonder, is there a mental game that I can play? And that's one thing like about this other shop mentally that I'm very excited about is that it technically has a little office space. So I will have a place to like actually go and eat and
Mhm.
sit down for a second, not at my workbench
Yeah.
eating lunch and trying to
Oh,
like
yeah. Oh,
not
dude.
get dust in my food and stuff. Like I'm like just from a small psychological standpoint, I'm like, oh, I can't
Absolutely.
wait to have a space that's kind of dust free.
Yeah. And you're not looking at your table saw eat.
Yeah.
Get out of there, man.
Yeah.
Get out of there for 15, 20, 30, 40 minutes, whatever
Yeah.
it is. Get out, eat your Hot Pocket, chill out, check your phone, and
Yeah.
then go back in. And that little mental reset can really do you a lot of good.
Yeah. A chair, maybe.
Yep.
Be cool.
Air conditioner? Is it air conditioning in there?
Nah, no air conditioning.
We'll
No
put
air
a little
conditioner,
window
no
unit
bathroom
in.
still. That's still two things I ain't got.
Hmm.
But you know what? I've made it this long without a bathroom. I figured it out. I know exactly how to work it around and
I'm about to
maneuver
say, can you TT outside?
it. Maybe.
We got office space.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you'll be fine.
Yeah. There's advantages to being a dude.
Oh, yeah. Well, you ain't lying, buddy.
I mean,
You ain't lying.
yeah. But well, man, I don't have anything going on this next week. So I I don't know what we're gonna talk. I mean, I don't know what we're gonna talk about next week. So no, we won't record. Well, let's see. So this coming Sunday, I'll be gone. But that Sunday when I come back, so the 10th, is that the 10th?
I don't know. You going to make me
8th,
look at a
9th.
calendar?
9th, July the 9th.
Yeah.
So
okay.
we'll basically take this weekend off coming up for the 4th of July. Happy birthday, America.
Hey.
According to Biden, we're over
Hey, buddy.
300 years old. If you hadn't heard that, I mean,
Oh,
we're
golly, that
working on our
idiot.
301st birthday. That math don't check. 1776 to 223 is not 300. But happy birthday, America. We'll catch you back after the 4th of July. Hope everybody has, of course, by the time this is aired, hope you had a safe and happy 4th of July. Hope you did.
No, hey, guys. You're not cool holding some big freaking firecracker in your hand.
Yep. And teach Terry how to back it
just-
up before you shoot fireworks.
Back up, Terry. Charge the man's batteries. Don't be an idiot with fireworks. Come on, guys.
Right.
We know better than this. You know better than
Yeah.
this, man.
Yeah, this is the first time in a while we're not going to shoot fireworks. So I'm not buying any down at the beach.
You got to
I
watch
love-
me.
Yeah, I love fireworks, but
You know I'm pro-America,
yes,
right? I am 100% pro-America. And this is America's day, man.
it is.
Like, this is our nation, whether you're alive, whether you've passed away, whether you're in the military or not. Doesn't matter on July the 4th. This is America's birthday, man.
Yeah.
And I can be involved, and I will go stupid on fire. I about got a divorce over fireworks one year.
I love it. I love fireworks. My granddaddy, God bless his soul, taught me how to shoot them off. And his favorite thing was black cats and a metal can.
Mhm.
Loved it. He'd shoot off a whole brick of them. I love it. And I'm
Oh,
gonna tell you
yeah.
something. You ain't seen nothing. You have not seen anything in a city limits until you come to this town right here on 4th of July or New Year's Eve. I'm telling you,
They do it up.
You can lay down. Our first year here, I laid down in the driveway and I had one of the best fireworks show I'd ever seen in my life and didn't spend a dime. It
Yeah.
is unbelievable. There's a couple of guys that fly drones and fly airplanes and will just record it. It's nuts. I mean, you want to talk? I mean, it's crazy, but it's the holiday where it doesn't matter if you're black, it doesn't matter if you're white, it doesn't matter
That's
if you're
right.
Christian, Buddhist, gay, straight. It don't matter. You know what you are? You're American. You're
They're
here. You
American.
should celebrate it. That you get to do whatever that you are doing, and you get to do it because you're in America, and celebrate it however you want to. Just don't criticize me for celebrating how I want to, and we'll all
Yep.
get along. That
Yep. And I always read the preamble to the Constitution
There you go.
where we were like, "Hey, Mr. King,
Yep.
take this.
Yep.
This
I
is
like to
this
say
is what
it's
we're
the
gonna
day
do." Yeah, here's
to
a big
England
old
Day.
how you doing, buddy.
We ain't doing it no more. For for my friends' friends.
Yeah, that's right.
We ain't
That's
doing
why,
it.
dude, I love it, man. And my kids hear it. You know, I'm a history dude anyway. I
Yeah.
love it, and my kids have to hear it every year. But let me tell you something, man. You know what? They got mad, and here they go, man. And they got tired of being put. You push us around long enough, man, and now, don't even get me started now, man.
I know.
You know, we're just
I know.
oh, but we have to keep that spirit alive in our kids.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I mean, keep that. Don't let them jokers forget what happened when all them bad boys signed that piece of paper, buddy, and what it meant.
Oh,
I
yeah.
guarantee you, they were, they were
I
ready to
never
give it
forget,
all.
not too long ago, I was telling one of my youngest daughter, I was like, in China, they turn the internet off at 10 o'clock. She's like, what? I
Yeah,
was like, yeah, they turn the internet off. She's like, they can't do that. And I was like, yes, they can because they're the government, and they can there, but they can't do that here,
right.
because this is America. We don't
Yep.
allow that crap. I was like,
Yep.
but there are countries that allow it, and you have nothing you can do about it.
That's it.
I was like, so shut your whining.
Hey, we got our faults. I get all that. Let's
Yep.
forget them on July the 4th. Let's get out there and they can beat them. I want to see, dude, ain't nothing prettier than seeing American flags everywhere, man.
Oh, I love it. The band
everywhere.
here, one of the biggest, and it's kind of fallen out because they've done a bad job of advertising, but the band here actually does a great fundraiser. I think it's $50 a year, right? And on 4th of July, Memorial Day, I can't remember. It's like 6 holidays, Flag Day. Anyway, they come and they go around and they put a flag in your yard. I mean, they stake a flag in your yard. And there's
Yes.
nothing cooler than when it's like a full participation. You look down that street, you talking about suburban America and what it should be,
Yeah.
and you look down the street and you just see this like 50 American flags flying down the street, just
Yeah.
whipping in the wind. I had to fix the flag at the school yesterday for my wife's school, and the hook was broken, so I fixed the hook. And she's like, "Well, you want to put the flag up?" I was like, "Well, heck yeah, let's put the flag up." I pulled
it
it
up,
up, and I
baby.
got it up there, and I looked up at the sun. I said, "I just don't think there's anything prettier
There
than an
ain't.
American flag in the sunshine." I don't know what it is. I mean, but it really is just something that's just so. And you're driving down the interstate, and oh, look at that big old flag!
Yeah.
Isn't that pretty?
Yeah.
Why? I don't know why it is so. Is it because it's ours, or is it? I don't know what it is, but man,
I think people like you and I see something different
I
when we look
guess.
at it.
I guess.
It represents more
Yeah.
to some people. I've got a big flag hangs off front of the shop every day.
Yeah.
I take it down when it rains and all that. Then I've got that huge wood carved one
Yep.
hanging on the wall. In here, I've got look at my mouse. Look at my mouse pad.
Oh, there you go.
And then I got one up there. I've got a huge one right there they're everywhere.
Yeah.
I just inadvertently, like subconsciously, I just put them everywhere, man.
Yeah. I
Stickers,
fly
you
a
name
thin
it.
blue. I fly a thin blue line flag in the shop, and a traditional American flag, and then I have a Tennessee state flag that I hang up in the shop, and I'm kicking myself in the nose because not too long ago, on Facebook Marketplace was a vintage 48 star flag
Ooh,
for $100. And I
Really?
don't know why I didn't buy it. I don't know why. I should have bought it. It would have been a great thing to hang up in the new shop, especially with walls.
mm-hmm.
And I went back. I was like, oh, I do need to go get that. And I went back, and somebody gobbled it up. $100 for, I think it was a 4x6.
Oh yeah,
You know?
that's a good size.
Yeah, it was a bigger, but a 48 star. I mean, they're just harder to come by.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, but I was like, man, I wish I'd have bought that, you know, but yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why it's so pretty, but it is to me. I don't know if it's because of the American in me. I don't know if it's because of the military in me. I don't know what it is, but there's just something about a big old American flag flying. You know, one of my favorite things, and I know you've seen it, and I've been to a couple of NASCAR races, but there ain't nothing better.
Oh yeah,
Ain't
man.
nothing better than that. I guess as a Peterbilt
Yeah.
at the begin. I mean,
Yep.
he
Goes
is.
around the
I mean,
track.
hammering down with that big old flag, just pulling it behind him. I
And then the
mean,
flyover, dude, and all that
oh
stuff, man, and
yeah,
and
yeah.
the national anthem. It's like, dude, go get it. All right, let's go home, man. They ain't gonna do
America.
better
I
than
don't
that.
even see
Yeah,
a race. Let's get it.
yeah, let's go home.
And the beginning of a rodeo. The beginning of
Yep.
now the beginning of a rodeo when they'll do the national anthem and they run that flag.
Hey,
I've gotten soft, but boy, I'm telling you, it makes me water. It
hey,
really
I've
does.
been there, dude. I've been
It
there.
does, and the national anthem automatically. We talked about it like Memorial Day episode. I mean, national anthem automatic. It rings Daniel Amaya in my mind every single time.
Yep.
But there are certain, especially like that, and like being at Talladega, there are certain events that like I really truly hold like people like him that have died and gave everything for this country and his
Yeah.
family who's still trying to move forward. Um, there are some people, and I got another buddy. The buddy I was supposed to go watch the get promoted. I need to tell you his wife's story. She's the widow of a fallen Marine.
Mm,
Incredible
mm.
woman. But you think about those people during those times, and it's just like, man,
Yeah. And see, and another thing is, dude, we remember September 11th like it was
vividly,
yesterday,
vividly.
and I think that's where a lot of my just being proud of being an American. Because my
Yeah,
dad was in the Air Force, my
yeah,
uncles and granddads, they were all military, you know. But they didn't. My dad didn't fly a bunch of flags everywhere. He was just a normal guy, you
yeah,
know. But September 11th, dude, there were millions of flags everywhere.
yeah,
Like everybody put them up, man. You go down the street and you go look at houses and yards and wherever it is. And I was like, we had a feeling of communion, you know.
yeah.
There for a little while after that happened, man, we were all on the same team.
It's true.
You know
Nobody
what I
cared.
mean?
Nobody
Nobody
cared what
cared.
religion you were. Nobody cared who
No,
you slept with. Nobody
nope.
cared what color your skin was. It
Politics
was,
took a back seat, man, and we
yeah,
were all of one accord, dude. And it was American flags everywhere. And I think that's kind of when it started to get,
yeah,
you know, ingrained. But anyway, I look forward to it every year. And that's why I go crazy on fireworks. I mean,
yeah.
I'll celebrate, man. We'll cook something, and
We'll get somebody to record it, and we'll post a picture of your fireworks show.
yeah, I would invite Corey the welder, but he'll hear this after 4th of July. You know, we're gonna be neighbors. I guess I got to start inviting him to crap.
Right? It's so funny. I keep seeing this Corey pop up on some Facebook feeds. I'm like, who is that? It's him. I keep forgetting
Is
who
it?
he. Yeah, he sent me a friend request, but I keep forgetting who it is. I'm like, who is this Corey guy? Yeah, who's him? They're busy. They are into a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
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 cows, different things.
yeah. They do a few cows and stuff, but
But well, man, I hope you guys have a good week. I hope you have a lot of progress. I hope that I have very little progress. I plan to have a lot of cervezas, a lot of sunshine, a lot of sand.
I don't
Over
even
the
know what
next
day of the
week.
week. What day of the week is it?
It today
Wednesday.
is Wednesdays. Yep, I only know that
Yeah,
because I took the trash cans to the street.
yeah. Tomorrow we got to take ours. So I'm planning the rest of my week. I'm gonna be you know, we got 2 days. I'm gonna push myself to get everything cut out in a couple of days. We'll see what
There you go.
happens.
Yeah, I'll take an extra day off for the 4th. Have fun.
Yep.
It's weird because it falls on a Tuesday, so it's a little weird.
It don't matter. We're gonna celebrate, dude. We're
Yeah,
grilling.
it just leaves you what to do with Monday. Like,
Yeah.
take off Sunday, work Monday, take off Tuesday. Like, nah, just take off Monday too.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the benefit of owning your business. Screw you, corporate America. We're not working Monday.
That's
We don't
right.
want to.
Do what we want to do.
Yeah, we'll just make for it up on Wednesday
And
and
right
the
now,
next Saturday.
you got me up like 2 hours past my bedtime.
I know. Well, buddy, I appreciate you sacrificing though to talk. I know you were jonesing to talk, and I was jonesing to talk, and I knew we wanted to get one recorded, so that we didn't lose the hopper,
That's
so to
right.
speak.
Yep.
I was like, ooh, we've got this cushion, and it's
We
great to
burned two
have.
of them.
And yeah, but it's like, ooh, when do we? And I knew like next week, I'm going to be gone, and you'll probably have a weekend sometime during the summer where you're gone. So I was like, ooh,
Well,
boy, I don't know.
I did think about this programming note. I'm going to work on getting somebody on, and
Okay.
it's going to be a buffer episode.
Okay.
So to put an extra one in the hopper.
Okay.
But they need a real microphone. It'll have to be somebody local around here, somebody like that. But I want to get somebody on. I want to go over there with that because I got an extra mic, dude. I got
Yeah.
all that stuff. I want to get it set up. We'll try to think of somebody who we want to, have on.
Okay.
I'm going to go set all the stuff up. We'll do a test run. And then it could be an episode, even if it's a shorter episode or whatever, that we do 2 in a week or something one time, we can have a guest. So it's not all on you and me to, you know.
Well,
talk
who I
about the
really
same
want to have
stuff.
on that you have down there?
Who's that?
Let's get Trey in here.
You can get Trey in. I can make that happen, buddy.
I feel like that would be a good. He's a young guy. He's so he's not going to be technologically inept.
Yep.
I feel like he'll be entertaining. May have to black your screen out or something to get him to tell the truth. I don't know. We'll see. But I feel like he can handle
He'll tell the truth, buddy. He'll tell.
But I feel like he can handle like that side of it and like help us experiment with a true, true setup. But I think he'd be a lot of fun. I mean, he's been a great participant. I think you got a real asset there.
I do. Oh, absolutely, man. And he listens
at least an
religiously.
ass. We'll see.
He just, and there's something I want to tell you so bad, and I mean, I'll tell you out of the podcast, but I made Trey a promise, so I'm not going to say it during the podcast.
All right, we're still accepting applications. If you would like to possibly date Trey,
Hey, he's an awesome dude, man. Y'all come on, knock his door
he's
down.
open. And, we'll just see. Whatever you are, just send in your application, and we'll see if he responds. At this point in time, we'll take anything we can get because nobody's applied.
Trey's gonna be like, leave me alone. I like being by myself and doing what I want to do.
You know how I got on my HOA board? Nobody else ran.
Yeah.
Hey, so you never know. If you're the only one on the ballot box, you might win. I'm just saying.
You're in.
You might be in. Well, all right, buddy. Well, have a good week. Tell everybody we said, hey, departing words for everyone.
Come back with all 10, especially 4th of July weekend.
For real.
Don't hurt yourself.
Don't lose
hurt
them on a
yourself.
table saw. Don't lose them on a cherry bomb.
No.
Nope.
And that's it, man. Y'all be good out there. Let us know. Let us know if y'all want us to cover something. Let us know.
Word of the week: America.
America, baby, 100%.
Send it. And if you put an A on it, I'm not talking to you.
Don't
America.
count.
Yep.
America.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. Thanks for coming in. We really, really appreciate it. Go and support my boy, oldusoutdoors.com. Go give him a shout out. Buy a little something from him. Good veteran out there trying to make a business for himself. We appreciate him. Thank you, buddy. Tell everybody we said hey, and we'll see you soon.
I'll do it, man. Y'all be good. Catch you on the next one.
Peace out.
See ya.